a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who spit facts online all the time.
Can you see it? All the ones who drag my name every single day. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? They keep saying you don't have what it takes to carve out your own name underneath the shadows of gods. And I keep waiting for the day disbelievers say I flew way too close to the sun. I wait, but it never really comes. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. Why do they just stand there against when they fall from the battles I have overcome? You feel it, feel the cope and the seething tone that they make while I stand up, man among gods. And I keep thinking with my mills, shooting ropes in my cold that faces towards the sun. They hate, but I'm sitting comfy with their mom. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all that shackled mind. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. It's you and me, your mom, it's me. I'll take another hit from my name. You'll see now, watch me not now, punch your face now. Show you how.
Chat, I must once again reaffirm that still nothing ever happens, okay? Regardless of what has gone down in the last 8 days, I need you guys to remember, still, nothing ever happens. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. Good afternoon, guys. What's up, MechSky3, Toast Malone, Stressed Squid, Summer Star, how you doing? Lefty Jenna, good to see ya. Zawarm Chills, welcome. Bagley, how are you? Doodlecat606, good to see ya. Ending Bunny, what's up? Man, so many people here. Holy crap. Bridget, Guilty Gear for president. Maybe. Who knows? Zan never responded to my first time chat yesterday. I'm sorry, Snowy Cat. I didn't see it. The chat. There's a lot of people talking, and I'm very bad at reading chat. I've got a friend who streams. Hunter. I've known this person longer than this other person that I also know, and them have been in a relationship, and they met completely separate from my knowing them. Like, they just happened to meet and end up in a relationship, but I knew them both separately. It's one of those small world moments. But Hunter Avalon's girlfriend, why am I blanking on her name right now? I feel so bad. Holly, she streams and reads every single chat message. It's fucking crazy, dude. I watched her stream like a couple months ago, and she had a pretty active chat. Like, the chat was moving about as fast as mine is now, and she reads every single message. So to give you an idea of what that's like, I would be all the way back on, like, Solo6483's message that says, if I knew how, I legitimately was considering entering the presidential campaign. Like, she would read every single message, no matter how long it takes. It's fucking wild. That is a way to stream, but I couldn't do it, dude. I couldn't do it. That's some powerful shit right there. How you doing, Bengo the Buck? What's up, Rock? Toast Malone? I think I already said hi to you, didn't I? No, I'm pretty sure I said hi to you. Zomato, how you doing? It's a dedicated streamer. I'm impressed by it for sure. Whenever I see a streamer pull stuff off that's just, I can appreciate how much effort it takes, I always respect it. It's why I respect Kaisenat a lot. The whole set thing that he does, where he builds a whole set based on whatever game or thing he's doing, is really unique. Eating pizza and watching you? Hell yeah, Circuit Dog. Enjoy your pizza. What's up, transgender femoid? Good to see ya. Welcome, welcome. Pepper T21, thank you so much for the $5 dono. I appreciate it. What'd you send me? The saddest character disappearances. What? What is this?
Garfield and Dodie and John and Nermal and Pookie and Liz and Arlene. But you may not know Lyman was there, now he's gone. Last seen in the paper in 2013. He was John's roommate for the first few years. Also the one to whom Odie belonged. But after the 80s he did.
Okay. That's interesting. Alright. Interesting. Hello, xanderhall.com/live. So true. Welcome to the website. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube right now, please come to the website, xanderhall.com/live. It's where the chat that you see on screen that I actually read is. I don't pay much attention to YouTube chat because it's where all of the degenerates and lowlifes tend to hang out. Sorry if you're not one of those people and you hang out in YouTube chat. You're just in bad company, you know? It's like when you go over to a friend's house to smoke some weed, and you're like, oh yeah, we're getting lit, and then the other guy's like, oh yeah, hold on, I want to get real lit, and then pulls out like a belt and a needle, and you're like, I'm gonna go, you know? That's where you are right now, if you're in YouTube chat and you're normal. Yeah, no. Zan talking from experience? I mean, everyone's been there, you know? Everyone's been there. Went to a party, lol. Fairy Icefire, thank you for the $20 redues. Hot damn, thank you kindly, I appreciate it. Very based and pog. Said, I lost a bet, you streamed today. Also, how much would it take for you to wear a fancy suit on stream, or worse, a maid outfit? Oh, I mean, I'm willing to do a lot for money, you know? I have my limits, but I'd be willing to potentially wear a maid outfit for money. As I get older, I find myself less concerned about people's perception of that kind of thing. But I'd prefer to wear a suit. I feel like it would actually go hard as fuck if I just, like, wore a suit every stream, you know? Like, just a full-on tuxedo, or just full-on, like, dress shirt, jacket, and tie. I don't even have to wear anything, like, below. It just has to be that. That would actually go kind of hard. Fuentes maxing? Actually, though. Become the leftist Nick Fuentes, and then lie about my age and say I'm like 20 or something to get that, like, Zoomer crowd. Zan fashion arc? Guys, I don't think there's ever going to be a fashion arc. Do you guys want to know what my fashion is? Ask anyone who's ever been around me in real life. My fashion is either exactly what I'm wearing now if I'm, like, bummy mode, or if I'm feeling like, you know, if I want to lock the fuck in, I put on blue jeans, my black leather boots, a white t-shirt as an undershirt if it's even a little chilly out, and then a long sleeve flannel shirt. Either a black and blue or some kind of mix of red, orangish white, and dark, like, bluish gray. I like my flannels, my, like, lumberjack flannels. The black leather boots go hard, though. I love my black leather boots. I think I can find... Hold on. These things go hard as fuck. Let me see if I can find... I got them so long ago at this point, I don't even know if they're, like, around. They're Nike, so... Should be here... Oh, there it is! I didn't recognize it because the laces were so well hidden. It's a bit similar to this. They're pretty solid boots. They're real, like, rigid. They're leather. Or probably fake leather, but, you know, they feel like leather. And they're good for stomping about, you know? My lock the fuck in shoes have to be something that I could, like, Isaac Clarke style curb stomp a zombie's head with. Because I'm not 100% sure a zombie apocalypse won't happen one day. And if it does, I want to be able to, like, full, like, Chuck Green Dead Rising, just rise to the situation immediately, no matter when, where, or what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to wear... It's like prison rules. You got to be wearing your laced-up shoes when the zombies come shambling and a biting. Zan, Elon is tweaking. Why is Elon tweaking? Trump, Vance, let's fucking... Is he just, like, spam posting? Yeah, I've seen a lot of conservatives celebrating Biden dropping out, but I don't think it'll really be... I don't really think that it'll be that big of an issue. Alrighty. The Republicans no longer the old card. Man, Jack Black is having it rough for real. Dude, I'm so upset about the Jack Black thing because people, like, he literally just, all that happened so he could endorse Biden. All of these, like, celebrities have endorsed Biden already. So it's like, oh, like, we gotta, like, restart all of that. You know, like, all that's gotta, we're back at square one. Just 100 days out from the election. It's not a great situation. Who's the candidate now? It'll probably be Kamala. The unfortunate thing is, it won't be somebody the people elected. The people elected Biden to be the nominee, and the media basically inflated... Well, it wasn't even just the media. A lot of it was the Dem megadonors pulling out after Biden's recent tax policy. Billionaires got taxed a bunch. They hated it. They pulled support for Biden and the Dems, and it was actually like a threat to the party, I'm guessing, behind the scenes. Progressive tax policy does not make it long in the United States, unfortunately. Zan, can you please tell Discord chat why too old isn't an argument and how Biden actually appealed to the average voter? I mean, the problem was that the average Biden voter wasn't loud enough to appear in any polling prior to the election, right? So it just, there really isn't anything to say other than we could have waited and seen with Election Day. He's known as the dementia guy. I mean, sure, but we'll see how things go. Zan is kind of glazing Biden, though, so IDK, I think he's just going to ignore everything that goes against his preconceived beliefs. Ooh, enjoy that ban, Lexi. Nice one. That also goes for Republicans who spent 4 years trying to slander Biden. Now all that is pretty much pointless. That's true, yeah. Although, to be fair, I feel like the Republicans are going to end up adopting a bunch of a bunch of lefty talking points about Kamala. That's my biggest worry. Who remembers the Kamala Harris thing and like how she had prosecuted kids for like truancy and stuff like that. I don't know how true these things are, frankly. That I'm gonna guess that they're not as accurate as they sound. But these talking points, they might resurface. It seems she was against the death penalty. I mean, that's pretty good, but I think that's pretty standard. Kamala Harris is a good candidate. It's just a matter of, man, it's not ideal to have to start a whole campaign 100 days out from the election. Like, it's not a concern about Kamala as a good candidate or not, or even if she can win. I think she can totally win. Like, I've heard people say people won't vote for a person of color. Yes, they will. They voted in Obama. People won't vote for a woman. Yes, they will. They voted for Hillary. Hillary won the popular vote. So I do think it is possible for a woman of color to win the presidency even in 2024. I think our country is there. My concern is how much time she has to do that. Now, we could potentially see her benefit from the incumbent advantage of the vice presidency in a similar way that Biden did from Obama's presidency. Like, who knows? In the same way that, like, Biden was able to borrow Obama's goodwill, Kamala could borrow Biden's goodwill. God, my nose. And a bit of Biden, or Obama's, maybe. Or Bush from Reagan, right? Yeah, it could work. It could work. I don't want you guys to doom her over this. I do think what's really funny to me is people still accusing me of glazing Biden now that he has dropped out of the race. Why would I be glazing Biden when he's no longer running for president? It's very clear that I just actually think Biden is good. That's why I banned that one person earlier. They were claiming I glaze Biden by covering the things that he does. Yeah. There's no point in doomering? Yeah, don't doomer. I will say, I do plan to dedicate a segment of the Biden dropping out part of the stream to covering just sort of like shotgunning the policies that Biden like revolutionarily brought about that never really got any attention. The axing of the coal industry, which will reduce the US carbon footprint by 80% per year alone. The like massive support for unions. Biden had a lot of support from unions as well because of that. The recent capping of insulin prices, like I could probably, oh yeah, he also like funded veteran health care more than any president before. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that never got any attention, and I feel like now I can talk about it without it even looking like I'm arguing here's why you should vote for him. Now it's just like, so here's how good of a president Biden was. Here's like what you failed to appreciate at the time, and well, you still have time to appreciate for the rest of the presidency until he has to obviously relinquish his seat to whoever wins the election. Kamala Harris should pick Kamala Khan as her VP. Good one. Good Marvel reference. Xander Hall, I'm kind of more excited to vote for Kamala because I find her so much more funny than Biden. Biden was very pragmatic, and yeah, he would joke, but it would be like how an old man jokes. I would have still voted for him proudly, but I'm really excited for voting for Kamala. I mean, that's well and good. I will admit that a very small part of me, kinda wants to see Trump win, or it's less so wants to see Trump win, but thinks Trump will win, and when he does, that part of me will be able to I told you so everybody who called for Biden to step down. But that is a very small part of me, and I don't want that. I will admit though, the vindication the timeline where I get vindicated for my staunch defense of Biden. That is a temptation, but one I fight. Yeah, I gotta always hate Trump more. You always vote blue no matter who. That's me word for word, yeah. I'm not the only person who feels that way. So do you still think people calling for Biden to step down have just become right-wingers? Well, I didn't say they've just become right-wingers, so that's gonna incur a ban because I can tell you're in bad faith. Hold on, what, I wonder who that alt account was, actually, because they had just made a new account. I imagine they'd been banned before. me look at their IP. Ah, they're King Jar Jerk, that's why. This is a Nazi. Yeah, that was a Nazi who's been banned from my channel that made a troll account. Yep. You probably shouldn't come into my chat and try to troll me when you know that I can literally just click on your account and see your IP address. It is a useful tool, though. It's very funny. Epimetrius, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 dues. Said we should ask the Biden dropper crowd what's next. I mean, hopefully the next thing is, you know, Kamala gets... Obviously, Kamala has the endorsement from Biden, so hopefully the next point is Kamala immediately starts campaigning. I'm hoping that her approval rating is high. She should be able to incur all of the goodwill that Biden's policies have, like if she just brags about the policies her and Biden have passed together, and then from there, what are they going to attack her for? They can't attack her for being old. They can't attack her for stuttering or misspeaking. So at that point, they're going to have to find, like, the most nothing culture war bullshit to, like, try to focus on with Kamala Harris. So on the bright side, I think she might be more resistant to attacks, but being more resistant to attacks doesn't necessarily mean that she will bring out the enthusiasm to vote for her, but I think she can. I think, the more I mull it over, I think that Kamala will win more on the merits of not being Trump. I think that's really what's going to do it. The not being Trump. The not being a Republican. The being able to protect... Because you gotta remember, it's not just Jovember. It's not just November. It's Rovember. That's what's coming up. Roe v. Wade got axed post-January 6th, post-Biden getting elected. The Republicans have very clearly plastered the mark of their desires upon themselves as wanting to destroy the rights of minorities in this country. There's a reason why POC, women, LGBT people, go down the list, heavily support Dems, and I think they're going to be very motivated to vote. I don't think that Kamala can't do it. I think if you're dooming that Kamala is our like new option, that's a little like that's definitely a bit over the top. I think Kamala, if anyone other than Biden can beat Trump, Kamala can. Like, I don't even think Bernie would have a better chance than Kamala Harris. Obviously, I think Biden had the best chance, but Kamala, I'd say, has the second best chance. And maybe, in time for the second debate, she can perform well enough that maybe she ends up taking the spot as the best chance to beat Trump. Obviously, polling doesn't necessarily indicate that, so we can't rely entirely on that. We'll have to wait till the election to see, but hey. Kamala has a better chance of beating Trump in debates because she's more energetic. Yeah, in the debate, she has a better chance of beating him, but in regards to the election, let's hope that her performance in the debates is so good that people who are just kind of meh about Kamala and might not vote, that generally would lean Democrat, find themselves a little bit enamored with her, perhaps. That's my hope. I've got a lot to talk about on this. My thoughts are jumbled right now. I'm waiting a moment to read the rest of the donos, and then we'll start, like, officially the segment on this topic, and I'll break everything down. How many debates are there left? It depends. There was supposed to just be one, but now that it's Harris versus Trump, presumably, you would think there'd be another two, right? No, Ocular, I didn't ban Snowy Cat. I banned Lexi from YouTube chat. Snowy Cat was someone else banned them. Ocular. That wasn't me. I wasn't even touching YouTube chat, but or website chat. Someone else got banned in website chat as I banned that other person who was trolling in YouTube chat. The attack ads against Kamala are going to be interesting because I guarantee they would edge towards explicit racism and sexism. That's true, yeah. There's a good chance that's where they'll go. I don't know, I'm excited for it. It'll be interesting at the very least. One of the things that I'm really excited about is we have our first opportunity to have, like, a hot president. But for real, though, and listen, as a straight man, to be clear, we have our first opportunity to have, like, a fucking hot president, dude. Like, can we stop and appreciate that possibility here for a moment? Like, Kamala Harris is quite pretty, alright? What, do you guys not like older women? That's right. We got a chance here. We got a chance. Ukraine already has a hot president. I'm talking about America. Obviously, America is the only country that matters when I'm talking about presidents. What? You understand I'm American, right? Why would you ever think that in my, like, in the background, like, implied I'm talking about other countries? I'm obviously only talking about America. I'm an American. What are you talking about? That's like a uniquely American thing, to only be talking about America when talking about something so general and broad. You should know this about me. Yeah, MILF Mala Harris. That's what we'll call her. Milfter Hall strikes again. Exactly. Isn't Kamala Harris like 59? I was arguing with people in the Discord as to whether or not she counts as a MILF, and people were like, she's 59, she's a GILF, and I was like, no, hold on. You go onto porn sites and you look up MILF and you see like a 25-year-old and you're like, yeah, and that's your shit, okay? No. 59 is not GILF. That is still MILF territory. Obviously, it depends. Like if you like smoke cigarettes and spend all day in the sun, by the time you're like 40, you'll look like, you know, you'll look like a grandma or a grandpa. But I mean, my response to that was Cate Blanchett, who is 55 years old. Okay. Counter argument, Galadriel. Fuck you. And when I say it, I mean it, Circuit Dog. Exactly. Anyway, thank you for the $20, Perry Icefire. I appreciate it. I'm sorry you lost the bet, but thank you for the dollary dues. Tempest 1452, thank you for the tier 2 sub. Hell yeah. What's up, Heavy Gretel? Good to see ya. How are you doing, Tempest 1452? Thank you for the tier 2 sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you're having a good one. Said, hi Zan, been watching your vids for several years, but all the recent drama has got me watching your streams too. Thanks for preventing me from dooming too hard. We're never letting the doom take over here, guys. We vote blue no matter who. We're fighting against Trump, and I don't care if our fucking nominee is like a fucking napkin, a paperclip, and an old chip. If that is our nominee, I'm voting for him, and I'm telling you to vote for him too, because we gotta stop Trump. That's all that really matters at this point. Unless our nominee was Trump. If like the Democrat, if the DNC just straight up nominated Trump, in that case, I might tell you not to vote blue no matter who. In that case, that would be the one exception. Or literally Hitler. Those might be the only couple exceptions, but besides that, we don't doomer here. Thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. I really appreciate it, Tempest 1452. How many months is that, by the way? I don't want to undercredit you. Zan, I'm curious, how can you see IPs? I gotta click through like a bunch of boxes to see it. No one else can. It's just like me and the like operator of the site, and it never will be used for anything malicious, but it allows us to IP ban people. Like, you have to be able to, any website can see your IP if you're connecting to it, unless you're using a VPN, I guess. And the reason why that exists is so we can IP ban people. But it also lets me see if somebody, like, makes an account, gets banned normally, and it's not an IP ban, and then a new account comes along, and they're like a new account, and they're just spam posting bullshit, I can ban them, and then check their account, and see that they have the same IP as another account on the site, one that might not even be banned. Like, maybe there's some troll who has, like, a chill account that they pretend to be someone else on, and then they've got, like, their alt accounts they continuously make to harass the streamer. I can see that, like, one of my quote-unquote regulars is that person, and then IP ban that person forever. It's a neat feature the site has that YouTube doesn't have. Zan, can you do that for me? I'm curious what my IP is. Just tell me what my... I mean, it's probably... If you're using a VPN, then it might be masked. But if you're okay with me saying it out loud... Ah! What's famous there? Cheese, ski lifts, snow, mountains, skiing. Oh, you're in there, bro. You're like, Luca, you're up in that country. The one hint I'll give publicly is it's a place I really want to go. I don't want to dox you, Luca. Are you okay with me just saying outright? I listed a... Galaxy Bomb, chill. Galaxy Bomb. Oculaire, someone in chat asked me to see if I can find where they're from. They just wanted to see, it's fine. Kamala Harris is going to be crazy in 2024? I hope so. I'm hoping. Let's keep our hopes up. You already said too much. Say it, it's fine. I mean, everyone at this point already knows. The place with the fucking cheese and ski lifts in Europe. I don't know, it feels wrong to say it. It feels wrong to dox one of my viewers, even if they ask me to. It just feels wrong, you know? Ah, Cuba. Cuba? The fuck, Gwen? No, think the opposite of Cuba. Lamau. Christ almighty. Libs of TikTok moment. Yeah, I'm Libs of TikTok now. Fiery One, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, we talking about end wokeness? Can't wait. Hell yeah. Thank you for the $2 dues. Yes, we are going to be talking about end wokeness. He got exposed. It's quite funny. Ingy Bingy 2000, thank you for the $10 dues. Says, Kamala works best from the logistical data side of putting this together so late, but let's not forget how flawed a politician she was in the 2020 primary and probably still is. Yeah, I mean, like, you got... I'm not letting this become a doomer stream, but for those that are like cheering from the rooftops and celebrating, like you're saying you're unburdened now is what I've been seeing people say. Like, people are acting as though now that Biden stepped down, they've gotten what they wanted. Have you seen those comments? The I'm unburdened now? I feel so unburdened? They feel as though, like, it's done now. Like, it's in the bag now that Biden has dropped out and anyone but Biden is the nominee. And that's so scary to me. Like, that's really scary to me. Because Kamala isn't gonna win just, like, skating into the White House. It's not gonna be that easy. It's gonna have to be fought for. And if the media coverage of the Democrat nominee doesn't change, because there's been heavy negative coverage of Biden, if that carries over to Kamala, that's bad. We need, like, the media to 180 on Kamala. Like, from how they covered Biden. Like, it needs to be talking about how lovely Kamala is and how she's so nice and she's, like, a mom and she's got that like, high energy and that's what the media needs to be saying. Like, New York Times, MSNBC, CNN. I want all that, like, anti-Biden shit to be dropped and replaced with pro-Kamala shit. Because this is what they wanted, right? I better fucking see non-stop positive Kamala coverage. That's what I want. Non-stop. I'm going to be making non-stop positive Kamala coverage. This is the Kamala train now, and the people who called for Biden to step down, they better be on the Kamala train hard. That's what I expect to see. She's technically a boomer. I mean, Kamala is not young by any means, but she does not have any of the age issues that people complain about with Biden, so nobody can carry that shit over to her. And at least still look genuine while doing it. Yeah, we're cruising with Kamala now. Wasn't Kamala's fan base originally called the K-Hive? Who remembers that? Back during the original primaries? When Kamala's supporters were called the K-Hive? We're the K-Hive now, guys. K-hole rebrand? Oh, it's the K-hole? So it's the K-hole now. Okay. Yeah, K-Hive was like I'm pretty sure like a pejorative term for Kamala supporters that Bernie supporters during the 2019 primary came up with. So we got to readopt that, but use it positively. Isn't Kamala technically Gen X? Isn't she 59? I'm pretty sure that makes her... I mean, yeah, probably Gen X, but boomer does not mean baby boomer. The K-hole sounds kind of funky. Yeah, I'm down to be in the K-hole, low-key. Actually, no, high-key. I would be thrilled. Kamala is a young boomer, like almost Gen X? Okay. I gotta be careful what I say about Kamala being hot, because I might meet her one day, you know? Like my career in politics just kind of escalates, and it gets to the point where I meet her and I'm like, haha, I hope you don't know. Hope you don't know what I said. Kamala polled higher than Biden in the leaked Dem polls, Xander. Her chances of winning are higher. Lexi, have you been watching the stream for like at all the last weeks, or have you been paying attention to politics? Like, that's definitely a good thing, don't get me wrong, but the argument that that alone means she has a better chance than Biden did is genuinely stupid. Like, Biden's, for one, pre-election polling has never been the end-all be-all, and in particular, Biden's support base has always been really quiet. Also, you're ban evading. Ain't no way Zan said that? Oh my god. You know, to be fair, a lot of you guys are really young. Like, a lot of you guys literally weren't, like, around for politics in 2016, so you don't remember how, like, all the polling was overwhelmingly in Hillary's favor, and how they, like, everyone was like, alright, it's all in the bag for Hillary now, and then Trump just took it, you know? Like, against all odds, like, for months, people were like, so it turns out election polling is complete bullshit. Zan, how old are you? 25 in 6 days. I'm 31, I remember. Yeah, it seems it's mostly like the 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds who are really on like the, no, Biden couldn't have won train, because they don't remember when Trump won, despite all of the overwhelming favorability in polling for Hillary. They didn't realize that, like, sometimes the pre-election polling, and you can tell when the pre-election polling isn't going to reflect the outcome. You know what's even funnier than 24? 25! Guys, I need you to hear something. I've been playing the fuck out of FF14's MSQ now that I caught up all of my crafters to 90. I need you to hear something. They added full-on just Texas America to FF14, and the OST for the zone goes so fucking hard. Listen to this shit. No, we did not finish the segment. It's high noon. Dude, you go to the zone and the characters there have American accents. Not like South American or Central American, like up to that point. You walk into like a cowboy western town and a guy's just like, hey, you bastard! It's like, yeah, they have full-on American Southern accents. It's crazy. Cowboys and shit. It goes hard. Nice try, William Higginbottom. Guy came into YouTube chat and said Zan fans have a problem with a black or female president. I banned him. It was a good try. A good effort. But I know that it was a YouTube chatter. The only reason I'm keeping YouTube chat open today is to ban the dumb fucks so we don't ever have to deal with them again. Other scenarios, I wouldn't usually be looking at YouTube chat because it's usually just constant flow of dumb comments. I don't know why, but YouTube chat is like genuinely cursed. Anyway, I thought I'd play that for you so you could enjoy some like nice FF14 background OST music. It goes hard. I was supposed to teach a class as punishment for falling asleep, but 9/11 happened. Nice. You got out of it. That's all that matters. YouTube chat is awful, but I have embedded myself here. I really like how Dylan Burns calls it gutter chat. Yeah. It's the gutter. Zan, we're not all uncivilized? Yeah, but, you know, it's you're like the not Nazis at, like, a Nazi protest. But you aren't Nazis, but you're marching at a protest with Nazis. You know, it's like... Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Oh, God. At least YouTube chat can take a joke. I do appreciate that YouTube chat can take a joke. Website chat cannot take a joke. YouTube chat can. YouTube chat LOLs when I make a funny, ironic joke, but website chat gets offended. That's the one place where YouTube chat actually goes kind of hard. They can take a joke even at themselves. All right. Anyway, Tempest 1452. I'll just assume that's a 1-monther. But thank you. I appreciate the $10 redues. I'm sorry if that's actually more. Let me know in chat if I'm wrong. Yeah, 1 month? Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, no dooming here. We don't doom here. We're on the Kamala train now. Squid, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 redues. You didn't say anything, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Bango the Buck, thank you for the $5 redues. Hot damn, you guys are being real supportive today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Said one of my close friends recently came out as trans, or as a trans woman. She contacted me about it, and I couldn't be happier for her. Smile. Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully you're there for her and acting as a support. You know, there's a lot of cases where people come out as trans and they don't really have anybody in their friend or family groups that are supportive of them once they find out. So if you're one of those people, then, you know, you could be a very valuable person in your trans friend's life by just being like, oh, cool, and being supportive. Like, you could literally instantly become the most valuable person in their life by just being the one person who doesn't, like, have a negative reaction. So yeah, thank you for the $5, and it's a very wholesome story. Epimetrius, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the $5 donos. I appreciate that. Says, we should ask the Biden dropper crowd what's next. Oh yeah, I already read that one, I think. Never mind. I mean, what's next is we support Kamala, and they better be too. They got what they wanted. Biden dropped out. Now we're getting the person who's replacing him, and that's Kamala, and they better not magically dredge up some new unheard of complaints about the new candidate. That is why we can't cover anything positive that she does in her incumbent position as the vice president or whatever. Like, I will take back everything I said in my criticism of well, maybe not everything I said. There was definitely some valid critiques of Vosh's non-coverage of Biden's achievements, but I'll take back a lot of what I said about Vosh's calls for Biden to drop out if he immediately gets on the Kamala train. Like, if he's on the Kamala train now, and he's making, like, we gotta vote for Kamala, like, now, you gotta get behind Kamala, we gotta vote, we gotta stop Trump. If he starts making content like that, I'll be like, okay, no, I totally misread this, okay, my bad, and I'll take it back, and I'll make a video taking it back. Let's hope he does that. That's what I'm hoping. He should, right? He has to? I hope so. He is? That's good. I mean, I have to see what content he makes, because, like, I make content pretty frequently that's covering the actual achievements of Biden and Kamala, so we gotta see if he follows it up, because lately it's been, like, non-stop anti-Biden content, and that's why I made that video. Thoughts on Woke Karen? Don't know who that is. Popcorn is life. I don't know who Woke_Karen is. That's good to hear, Nyapolio. I can't with your name, I'm sorry. Nyapolian. There we go. Gwen, it sounds like Vosh is on the Kamala train. That's good news. You used to cover Biden's achievements? Yeah, that's why it was so weird when it stopped. But hey, I mean, we've got Kamala now. Kamala's the only option, it seems, so we're behind Kamala. I can't believe you guys are huffing copium. We've lost. Enjoy your ban, buddy. We are not doomering. Trump, listen, if you are feeling like Biden dropping out is going to mean Trump has it in the bag and it's over now, I want to remind you, Biden won and had the goodwill he had to win in 2020 because he was Obama's vice president. All right? And I want you to remember now that even among the Democrats who are shit-talking Biden, I'm actually seeing a lot of pro-Biden discussion. Here, there was a post I saw on Twitter that, like, Biden's going to be remembered as probably the best president we've ever had. But unless, like, I don't know. Kamala ends up, like, absolutely mogging his performance. Maybe she will. That would be ideal. Let me see if I can find it. There was a post that I found very interesting. It's below his announcement of dropping out. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Mr. President, I'm a former ultra MAGA Republican, and I've realized how wrong I was about you. You're one of the most visionary and charismatic presidents we've ever had. I've never been prouder to be an American and a patriot. Thank you and Godspeed, sir. You would be surprised, but the majority of people who are calling for him to drop out are responding pretty much like that. Well, this guy was specifically a Republican, or an ex-Republican, former MAGA Republican, but even among Democrat voters, a lot of them are saying that. Very happy and thankful to Biden. Like, now that Biden's dropped out, all of a sudden Biden has been the best president of their lifetimes. He just needed to drop out for them to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Like, him dropping out, not dropping out, was the issue they had with him, I guess, that made them not want to acknowledge his achievements. So now that he's dropped out, he's the greatest president we've ever had, but he just couldn't win, though. You know, that's the narrative that we're going to be hearing. Which will be really annoying when you know it's not true, because, like, Biden literally was the only guy to ever beat Trump historically. Like, Trump steamrolled every other person he's ran against besides Hillary, I guess. Like, Hillary was the one who got the closest without winning to beating Trump. V-Raptor, thank you for the tier 1 gifted sub to One Piece 34. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $5 reduce. Says, the presidential debate has already been predicted. I am blocked by whoever posted that, V-Raptor. I don't know who posted this, but Emerald Apple. Apparently I'm blocked by them. Unable to view this post because the account owner limits who can view their posts. Yeah, I'm blocked by whoever that is. Peepo sad. You can't use incognito mode on Twitter anymore. You have to be logged into an account to view anything on Twitter. Now, it's a change Elon made, so you're not allowed to bypass blocks to see a tweet anymore. It's not possible. I don't have a Twitter alt. Why would I have a Twitter alt? Do you have any idea how much I hate Twitter? Why would I make a second account so I can use Twitter more? Awful. Horrible. Biden had a dementia. You realize Biden, like, objectively didn't have dementia, right? Like, do you actually think that Biden had, like, clinical, like, diagnosed dementia? Like, actual, the medical condition of dementia? Or are you just saying, like, that as an exaggeration? Because he had doctor evaluations constantly. That's the president always does. And he just didn't have dementia. So if that was your reason for calling for him to drop out, I have news for you, my friend. Yeah, Trump definitely might have dementia. I know I've seen multiple articles from medical experts saying that Trump's brain has been showing signs of degradation since 2020, if I recall correctly. Deranged lefties hate him because they obsess over Palestine and screw everything else. Well, here's the thing, though. A lot of the people calling for Biden to step down have been saying that he's enabling a genocide in Gaza, and he is. I mean, I think it's a genocide, but like I said, be careful using that terminology when you're debating with Zionists, because they'll get you in the weeds. Just repeatedly list war crimes committed by Israel, and don't give them the opportunity to derail the conversation into semantics over what is and isn't a genocide. Just list the things Israel does. Regardless, though, it's interesting that Biden gets shit for that specifically, but why would that not carry over to Kamala? I'm curious about that. Is Kamala going to incur the consequences of Biden's handling of Israel? Like, are we now all of a sudden going to be hearing, like, Kamala is complicit in the genocide? Is that going to become a narrative we're going to be hearing? Kamala's tougher on Israel, right? I have no clue, to be honest with you. I do not know what her position on Israel is. Maybe it's more progressive. Maybe it's in line with Biden's. Are you coconut pilled? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're Kamala pilled. We're on the Kamala fucking bullet train right now. Dude, could you imagine, like, Kamala endorses AOC after, like, 8 years or something? I'm pretty sure AOC can run in, like, 8 years. Imagine Kamala can get 2 consecutive terms. Because, like, that would go hard. If we could get 2 consecutive Kamala Harris terms, and then she endorses AOC, who runs and wins the Democrat primary. Oh, that could go crazy. That would be crazy, dude. Imagine that. Behind closed doors, it seems to be that Kamala is more progressive on Palestine, but doesn't want to contradict Biden publicly. Interesting. That could be good. Even if it's not true, if that's just the narrative people have to believe to, like, support Kamala despite the same reasons for not supporting Biden being there, I don't care. As long as they vote blue, I don't give a shit. Even if it's untrue, even if Kamala's even more of a Zionist, as long as they vote for her instead of Trump, and that's, if they have to believe that, I'm not challenging that idea, okay? I dare not challenge the idea Kamala is better on Israel. I want people believing that, whether it's true or not. I need people to believe that. We're not looking under that rug. We're letting sleeping dogs lie. Once again, Kamala is a good candidate because she can take credit for Biden's administrative achievements. That's big, yeah. Well, the problem is, a lot of the people who have been, like, calling for Biden to drop out have been doing that instead of covering the achievements of their administration. So now it needs to be a hard pivot in, like, everybody's content, from, like, the mainstream media to independent left-wing creators to supporting Kamala from shitting on Biden. Like, it's got to be a 180 now. Like, a very stark 180. I don't know if that's going to work, though, because I know for a fact that, like, the pro-Biden content did not do well algorithmically, so I don't know how much creators and media organizations are going to want to make pro-Kamala content. Maybe we can clickbait Kamala? I don't know. Check out Right Wing Cope. Donald Trump has endorsed Kamala Harris. There's no way this is real. September 26, 2011. Okay, this could be real. Donald Trump, you gotta remember, every, like, billionaire has their hands in the pockets of both parties, and Donald Trump was once just a billionaire who had his hands in the pockets of the Republican and Democrat party, so that doesn't surprise me. There's, like, evidence going back to, like, before 2016 where Trump was, like, donating to the DNC and stuff. You guys know that, right? Like, Trump was one of those, like, shadowy billionaires with both parties in his pocket before he started getting into politics himself. That's why he used to be a Democrat, yeah. Yep. It's like Trump is faking a lot of what we know him for. Obviously, he wants power and he wants to, like, incur wealth, but he's using this culture war shit to improve. I don't think Trump believes half the culture war shit that he pushes. Oh my god, my nose. I got my mustache hairs are tickling my nose. I need to shave. Yeah, he was registered Dem. Half, try none. Oh, I mean, every lie he tells he knows is a lie, for sure, but, like, in regards to the culture war shit he pushes, I think he believes at most half of it. Good one, Adam AIL. Man, we got a lot of, like, trolls in chat today. Makes sense, though. View count's very high. Yeah, it looks like we both need to shave. Some of my mustache hairs went in my food. Jesus, I'm sorry, Nightmothism. Yeah, I really do need to. I should have shaved today, but I completely forgot. I was so locked in on FF14. I completely forgot. Anyway, guys, it's time for this first segment of the day. Let me update the dono goal really fast, and then we're gonna hop right in. You know, I'll actually say it's really fitting that our candidate is a woman in the election that basically decides women's rights in this country to their bodily autonomy. Like, at the end of the day, if Kamala loses, it won't just be the message that, like, the American people who voted against her don't care about women's, like, bodily autonomy, but it'll be that they fought against it, you know? It'll just add to that, like, the sort of evaluation of the country depending on which way it goes. Like, how progressive is the country compared to how far gone is the country? It'll really give that, like, tell. I think the country is more progressive than it looks. I think most libs that vote Dem are really quiet and just almost invisible. They don't even vote in pre-election polling until election day comes about. I genuinely wouldn't expect the polling results for whoever wins the election to change that much. Like, I think Kamala's chances might be, like, in terms of the pre-election polling, the same as Biden's or close to it, but then she'll still win. That's my bet. Good take, Zen. I'm feeling very optimistic. I mean, I feel optimistic regardless. It's literally... I mean, we're the same person who has presided over all of Biden's achievements and policies is who seems to be taking the place, so it's pretty solid. Victoria Newman, 2025. I've got bad news for you, Nico Beanie. Got bad news. All right. All right, everyone. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, everybody. This is some pretty big news. We are living through a historical event today. Once again, another historical event. Joe Biden has decided to drop out of the race. Now, there are a couple reasons why people have talked about why this has likely happened. There has been calls for months and months and months, even within the Democratic Party, for Biden to drop out due to his age. And the media has focused on Biden's age and every stutter and misspeak pretty heavily, which has definitely fed into the idea that Biden is too old, is when the media just magnifies every single, like, gaffe. You know what I mean? And it got to become a very common meme that Joe Biden's brain was, like, melting. He had dementia. We had constant, like, medical professionals confirming Joe Biden's brain was healthy, and in fact, Trump's brain is the one that seems to be indicating signs of dementia. But regardless, that was the idea. And so people believe that Biden just didn't really stand a chance to win. Now, personally, I believe that Biden had the best chance to win, and I still do think he does. But the person who's going to be replacing him probably has the next best chance to win, so I can't really be too upset about the situation, especially if we handle the situation right. If we push for Kamala, who will likely take his place, Kamala Harris, if we push for her hard enough, I think we've got a pretty good chance of winning. I think we might even be able to surpass Biden's chances of winning. But here's the deal. There's a few reasons why I think Biden might have finally decided to step down. I don't think it's because the American people were necessarily calling for it. I think a lot of people overestimate how unanimous the calls for Biden to step down were. It wasn't like... It wasn't as ubiquitous as the media has been framing it. Two, the polling numbers. The polling numbers for Biden have never been very strong. Like, even going back to the election he won, 2020, they've just never been strong pre-election. And yet Biden's voter turnout swamped the estimations for all the polling numbers, and he swamped Trump harder than any of the polling expected. No one expected Georgia or Wisconsin. These were unprecedented W's that just kind of emerged from the ether. Like, no one expected it. Like, to be fair, as much as we laugh at, like, Tim Pool back in 2020 for saying Trump's gonna win super hard, 49-state landslide, things did look pretty good for Trump. Like, it was a bit of a scary time, and there was a reason why the no-doomer mindset was put into place by me, and that was, like, the start of that rule, was because people were dooming so hard over Biden's chances to win 2020. And then he won really fucking hard, like ridiculously hard, with insane turnout. How much that had to do with Biden, I don't know. It probably had more to do with Trump just being so awful that keeping him out of office motivated people to come out and vote. And it's why I didn't really buy the idea that Biden had no chance, right? I didn't buy that idea. And I thought it was very pessimistic, and I thought that playing into it basically was a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think Biden is too weak to win, why are you dedicating yourself to throwing rocks at him and weakening him, right? Like, the chances of him actually dropping out were very unlikely at the time. Here's why I think Biden probably dropped out. About a week ago, Biden signed a tax policy that heavily increased the tax rate on billionaires. Many of those billionaires being Democrat DNC megadonors. Mind you, this is the kind of tax policy that Dem voters have been screaming, crying, pissing, and shitting for decades on decades on decades now. A real progressive tax policy. Biden passed this, and within literally a week, all the left-wing media coverage pivoted to negative coverage of Biden. You guys noticed that, right? Biden passes new tax plan, taxes billionaires more, within a week after this event. And New York Times is posting op-eds about how Biden needs to not just step down, but that, who was it? Aaron Sorkin suggested that the DNC nominate Mitt Romney, a Republican, as the DNC nominee in Biden's place. Like, it was some very bizarre, like, I thought they were going hard against Biden before. After Biden put in place that tax policy, it just, all of a sudden, everybody is calling for Biden to step down. Biden said he is, like, determined to not drop out of the race, and every headline is, Biden is in the contemplative phase of his political career. And it was like, holy shit, they're not letting up. And sure enough, they didn't let up, and Biden stepped down. That's what I think probably was the reason he stepped down, was because of the response from Democrat megadonors to his tax policy. It was more likely a combination of all three of these things, but we are now in an unprecedented situation where Biden has been forced to step down. And that is how I think it pretty much is gone. He's been effectively forced to step down. What about COVID? I mean, he's a little sick, but I don't think it's the reason he's stepping down by any means. But Biden is stepping down, and in his place, he is endorsing Kamala Harris. his current vice president. And I think this is the best case scenario for the situation. I think it's the best case scenario, especially if everybody who has been talking about how bad Biden is and how much he can't win and how he needs to step down, if they now immediately pivot from the anti-Biden content to pro-Kamala content. Non-stop, incessant, pro-Kamala content until the election. Because as much as I think Kamala's chances are pretty good, she can't win without our help. So here's the announcement Biden put out today. And I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to go over the Biden-Harris record on the White House website. To not only talk about, all of the things that Biden has achieved so far in his presidency, sort of like, now that there's not really any stakes to it, maybe a lot more people who aren't willing to listen to, like, what Biden has achieved before might be willing to listen now, since there's no, like Biden's not in the race anymore. He is now effectively an ex-president, right? We can talk about his achievements, and it's very clear that, bias doesn't play a part. We're talking about the ex-president now. Though he's still president, you know what I mean. He is not running again. He is going to not be president anymore in 100 days. Right, technically a little more, but you know what I mean. So we're going to go over not only the achievements of Biden that weren't really given any attention, but also the achievements of Kamala, because Kamala is Biden's vice president, and Biden's achievements are just as much Kamala's achievements. So, here's the post from Biden. Joseph R. Biden Jr. on July 21st, 2024. I almost read My Fellow Americans in the Obama voice, because I think Obama had the most iconic delivery of My Fellow Americans. It just went so fucking hard. My fellow Americans. Over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I can't do a Biden impression very well, I'm sorry. I believe it is in the best interest for my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work, and let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today, what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. 07. The only real worry I have here is that the Republicans are actually able to do what they promised to do, which is if Biden is replaced, they've said they plan to challenge the new nominee in court to keep them off the ballot. Not to keep them from running or to keep them from being elected or taking office, but to keep them off the ballot in as many states as possible. So for all we know, if any state achieves it, I bet Ohio. I think there's a good chance Ohio doesn't even have Kamala on the ballot because the Republicans there might go unchallenged in keeping her off the ballot. Only in Ohio? If it happens anywhere, it'll be Ohio. Ohio is so deep, hard red. It's Trump country. It's like they don't care about the rules or the system, Trump country. They'll outright break the existing laws just to yeah, I worry about those states. Like, Ohio is one of them. South Dakota's really bad right now. Texas and Florida, obviously. Like, there's a good handful of states that are, like, so fucking red. I don't know if there is a resistance against outright illegal election interference in those states, and they could try to challenge with the courts and have genuinely no, we could have no defense to keep Kamala on the ballot realistically. Who knows? It could go up to the Supreme Court, and at that point, I mean, you know what's gonna happen. Not trying to doom her, that's just a very real concern I have, and I'm just voicing it. I don't think they're even going to be able to pull it off realistically. I think it's pretty far-fetched they pull it off or even, like, go for it seriously. But who knows? I've been surprised before. No, if you told me 10 days ago someone was going to take a shot at Trump and miss, but they'd hit his ear, I would have called you a bullshitter. Anyway, now that we are down to the wire, about 100 days away until the election, and Harris is basically our nominee now. I don't know if it's fully official yet. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow we wake up and we find out Harris isn't our nominee and it's someone we've never heard of before, and it's like, oh, shit. That could end up happening for all we know. Presumably, we've got Harris. Harris, I think, is who is going to be our nominee. So assuming it's Harris, let's go over Biden and Harris's record. We're both simultaneously going to appreciate the achievements of Biden as well as the promise of Kamala Harris. So I'm on the White House website right now, and I'm just going to read. The Biden-Harris record. When President Biden and Vice President Harris took office, our country faced unprecedented crises: a raging pandemic, economic crisis, climate crisis, and racial injustice. The president and vice president ran for office on the promise to move quickly to tackle these crises head-on and deliver results for working families. That's what the Biden-Harris administration has done. Top accomplishments: lowering the cost of families' everyday expenses. More people are working than at any point in American history. Making more in America. This one goes into more. Each one of these is like a little section that I can click on, and there's like a whole, there's a whole section about this. So to elaborate, was that a car accident a couple blocks away? The fuck? I got my window open and I heard a bunch of honking. I think a car accident happened a few blocks away. Should I go help, chat? Should I pause stream and go and help? It's pretty far away. I imagine paramedics would be there before I could do anything. Like, what am I gonna go there and, like, ask someone for their phone so I can call 911? My current phone's broken. Check it out. Yeah, do whatever. Anyway, so, like, to give you an idea, the Making More in America section goes on to elaborate. As a result of historic legislation the president has signed into law, there is a manufacturing boom taking hold across America. In 2 years, companies have announced nearly $300 billion in manufacturing investments in the United States. These investments are ensuring that technologies of the future are made in America and bringing back supply chains from overseas. And they are creating good-paying jobs, including union jobs and jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. So these are what are considered low-skill union jobs that pay well. $300 billion in low-skill, well-paying manufacturing union jobs in 2 fucking years. That's Biden and Harris right there. Protecting. This is a big one. I imagine you guys care a lot about this one. Protecting marriage for LGBTQIA+ and interracial groups. Over 10 years ago, President Biden announced his support for marriage equality, becoming the highest-ranking U.S. government official to do so. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, do you know why gay marriage is federally legalized? It's credited to Obama because Obama signed the executive order, but do you want to know who told Obama to do that and convinced Obama to do that? Biden. That was Biden. Like, legit, Obama may have signed the paper, but Biden is the reason we have federally legalized gay marriage. And that was in 2015, I believe. Building on his oh yeah, and you know, like, the narrative about Biden being racist because of the crime bill? If you guys remember? The reason why all the Dems back then backed the crime bill was because with the crime bill, the bullshit in the crime bill that we don't like, the Dems were able to fill it and bundle it with a shitload of reforms that the Republicans would have never let get passed otherwise. It was one of the biggest compromises ever, and the things that the Democrats were able to get passed in that compromise were pretty fucking big. It was not a case of like the Dems were racist back then and were like, yeah, crime bill, fuck brown people, rah. That just wasn't a thing. But I know that narrative was pretty popular against Biden as well. Biden's actually been based for like a really long time. Building on his long-standing support and generations of civil rights advocacy, President Biden signed historic bipartisan legislation protecting marriage for same-sex interracial couples, and this is also Kamala, the president took historic steps to advance full equality for LGBTQIA+ Americans, including reversing the discriminatory ban on transgender service members in the military. Oh yeah, who remembers that? Trump, like, day 3 banned trans people from the military, and then day 2, Biden brought them back. Strengthening non-discrimination protections in healthcare, housing, education, and employment, and ensuring that transgender Americans can access government support and services. Obviously, all this carries on to Kamala as well, so, these are reasons why you should support Kamala, too. Rescued the economy and changed the course of the pandemic. Soon after taking office, with a pandemic raging and an economy reeling, the president signed the American Rescue Plan to change the course of the pandemic and jumpstart our economic recovery. The American Rescue Plan funded our successful vaccination campaign, safely reopened schools for in-person learning, helped 200,000 childcare providers keep their doors open, and delivered relief to American families. Rebuilding our infrastructure. Washington policymakers celebrated Infrastructure Week without ever delivering. President Biden got it done. He worked across the aisle to forge consensus and pass the bipartisan infrastructure law, a once-in-a-generation investment in our nation's infrastructure. We are rebuilding roads, bridges, ports, and airports, upgrading public transit and rail systems, replacing lead pipes to provide clean water, cleaning up pollution, providing affordable high-speed internet to every family in America, delivering cheaper and cleaner energy to households and businesses, and creating good-paying jobs, including union jobs and jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. I love how much they emphasize how important union jobs are to their administration. Like, Biden and Kamala's administration has been the most pro-union presidential administration ever. By a lot! Historic expansion of benefits and services for toxin-exposed veterans. So this is a very close one to Biden, obviously, because his son died due to cancer incurred by the burn pits. I believe his son was a Marine. Not Hunter. Beau Biden, I believe, was a Marine. And I think he incurred lung cancer because they burn trash while out on duty, because there's no, like, when you're out in the middle of, like, the desert doing military operations, you produce a lot of trash because you're a bunch of fucking people, like, living and doing an operation, but there's no trash services and stuff, so, like, rubble, debris, trash, all sorts of shit is getting burned in pits out there, while they're, like, guarding certain outposts or at certain locations, and the fumes cause cancer. So, this is a big one. False. Oh, we've got someone in YouTube chat spamming random, like, Trump talking points about how bad Biden is. I love how, like, Biden has stepped down and we're reading, like, Biden and Harris's achievements, and the comments are like, no, he didn't. So there are still people, like, and that's a regular in the chat. That's somebody who I know as a regular in the community. It's not even a conservative. I'm pretty upset to see that a fair amount of the people who are shit-talking Biden are not giving Kamala credit when she is now the nominee. It's like, oh, okay, so Kamala's not good enough either, huh? Nope. If you hated Biden and you shit-talk Biden, you gotta get behind Kamala. Hell, if you were in favor of Biden, you better get back. But regardless, if you are progressive, you better get behind Kamala, but you especially better get behind Kamala if Biden dropping out is what you wanted. This law also enables the Department of Veterans Affairs to move more quickly in the future to determine if illnesses are related to military service, and it offers critical support to survivors who were harmed by exposures. And the law authorized 31 new clinical sites and provides the VA with several tools and resources to ensure effective implementation of the law. Yeah, this is the PACT Act. Huge deal. Massive amount of health care for veterans. The first meaningful gun violence reduction legislation in 30 years. President Biden brought together Democrats and Republicans to pass the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first major piece of gun safety legislation in 3 decades. The law will save lives by requiring young people ages 18 to 21 to undergo... This is good policy, by the way. You guys know I'm pro-gun. There's a gun right there and a gun right there. I'm very pro-gun, okay? And this is what I'm in favor of. When it comes to gun policy, this kind of shit is what I like. I don't like the rhetoric of we need to ban assault weapons, but I love the practice of how this has turned out. The law will save lives by requiring young people ages 18 to 21 to undergo enhanced background checks, narrowing the boyfriend loophole to keep guns out of the hands of convicted dating partners, funding crisis interventions, including extreme risk protection order, red flag laws, making significant investments to address the mental health crisis in America, big, including in our schools, clarifying who needs to register as a federally licensed gun dealer, and run background checks. He closed the gun show loophole. That was a big thing. That was the whole, basically what happened was the gun show loophole was really bad, but it was technically not a loophole so much as the intent of the law. The idea was, if you're just a guy, let's say I'm Joe Schmo and you're Joe Schmow, right? Joe Schmow and Joe Schmo can go to a gun show and they can buy guns from legally licensed. I think the term is FFA might be the term. There's a term for the license that legal firearm dealers have, and they're allowed to run a business of selling firearms. But you can also just do, or could just do, a sale between two people. I think it's called a straw sale or something like that. I don't know. There's a term for it. But you couldn't do it in the gun show because to sell guns at a gun show, you have to be a licensed vendor. However, right outside the gun show and say the parking lot, there's no rules. But there's a million... Straw purchase, thank you. But there's a million gun owners out there in the parking lot who've probably all brought their own guns to show off to other gun people. And so it always happens at these gun shows is people go in and maybe they buy some guns from the licensed vendors, but then they brought a bunch of guns to trade and sell with them to the event that they go and trade and sell to just other random people in the parking lot, previously completely legally. Which added a ton of fuzziness to the history of a gun's ownership, when before... there was a much clearer paper trail of what hands a firearm has been in, so you could track the firearm's ownership to a potential criminal organization or a real suspect. And so Biden basically closed that loophole, and it's way better. I mean, Kamala and Biden. This isn't when I talk about Biden's achievements here, you got to remember these all trickle down to Kamala. Kamala is his vice president. These aren't just reasons for why you should have supported Biden. They're reasons why you should now support Kamala as well. Making significant investments to address federal licensed gun dealer and background checks and distinct federal crimes. Yeah, I think we finished that section. Historic confirmation of Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson and federal judges of diverse backgrounds. Nice. President Biden nominated and the Senate confirmed Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm so fucking mushmouth today, I'm sorry. Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman to serve on the Supreme Court. Justice Jackson is one of our nation's brightest legal minds and has unprecedented experience in our legal system. President Biden's other judicial appointees include record percentages of women, racial and ethnic minorities, and civil rights lawyers and public defenders. 66% of President Biden's nominees are women and 65% are people of color. I feel like this is a very kind of giving ammo to the right with their whole Biden just hires people for DEI or whatever argument. But no, I think it's a good point that Biden has a pretty diverse administration. I think it's a pretty big deal. It's very clear. I think Biden really does a good job of giving the message, as will probably Kamala, of indicating, we're not just the old white men group, right? Like, Biden had to, like, fight against that idea. Like, he's an old white man, and a fair amount of, like, Democrats, I feel, are just inherently put off by that. I feel like Kamala has the benefit of no old white man baggage, you know what I mean? Like, she's not an old white man. She doesn't have the baggage that comes with people's perception of even a nice old white man, you know? Since the start of President Putin's unprovoked and unjustified full-scale invasion of Ukraine, President Biden has rallied the world to rise to the moment, stand up to autocracy, and defend democracy. President Biden has worked around the clock with partners and allies to support the people of Ukraine, coordinate and impose unprecedented economic costs against Russia, and secure robust bipartisan support at home to deliver critical weapons and economic and humanitarian assistance for Ukraine. Based. For those that know, if Trump wins, he'll probably take all the lethal aid we provided to Ukraine and give it to Israel instead. And probably greenlight them to, like, nuke Gaza or something. Strengthened alliances and partnerships to deliver for the American people. America's alliances and partnerships are the strongest they've ever been at any point in recent history, a hallmark of President Biden's approach to the world. I could go on. There's literally, like, I just realized how long we're going to be reading for if I read all of these. Like, I'm just going to read the list of things he's done, and you can research deeper on each of these things if any of them, like, are make you curious, right? But these are Biden and Kamala's achievements. We've got strengthened alliances and partnerships to deliver for the American people, successful counterterrorism missions against the leaders of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, executive orders protecting reproductive rights, historic student debt relief for middle and working class families, like billions canceled of student debt canceled, ending our failed approach to marijuana, advocating equity and racial justice, including historic criminal justice reform, delivering on the most aggressive climate and environmental justice agenda in American history. This one I'm going to read because it's so important, dude. This one's so important. The U.S. is now positioned to achieve our ambitious climate goals of cutting our emissions in half by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2050. The president has taken executive action and signed legislation to develop clean energy at home, accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles, and reduce pollution that endangers the overburdened communities. And the president is lowering energy costs for families, creating good-paying jobs, and ensuring America leads the global clean energy economy. The president also protected more lands and waters in the first year than any president since John F. Kennedy. All this is true. I covered all these bits as separate stories as they happened. There's actually a bunch of different things he did bundled together, but Biden has literally paved the path for us to be net zero carbon neutral by 2050. Like, legitimately. By 2030, the coal industry is dead. Like, gone. Like, he's killed the coal. Assuming Trump doesn't win and undo this, Biden has killed the coal industry by 2030. That was 80% of our yearly greenhouse gas carbon footprint per year. That was huge. We gotta make sure Kamala wins. We gotta make sure that Kamala wins, or we lose all this. Everything I'm talking about here, everything I'm listing, we lose all of these achievements that Biden has worked for if Kamala does not win. And, of course, more people with health insurance than ever before. President Biden took action to lower the cost of healthcare for millions of Americans. Right now, 4 out of 5 people who sign up for health insurance through the Affordable Care Act can find healthcare coverage for $10 a month or less. And millions of Americans on Obamacare are saving an average of $800 a year. Since he took office, there has been a combined 50% increase in enrollment in the United States and enrollment in states that use healthcare.gov, and the nation's uninsured rate is historically low at 8%. Over 16 million Americans signed up for quality, affordable health coverage, the highest number ever produced in an open enrollment period. So, I'm curious if there's anybody here who disagreed with my... why is Zan mispronouncing Kamala's name? Kamala? What? Am I pronouncing it wrong, Kamala? I am not pronouncing her name wrong, I don't think. It's Kamala. Kamala. I'm from the South, dog. I'm sorry, I'm from the South. I'm gonna say Kamala, okay? It's gonna be Kamala, All right, that's how I pronounce the name. All right, it's just how it flows. That's my Dracula flow, okay? It's Kamala. Kamala. It's Kamala. I don't care. No, it's Kamala. Fuck you. Nope, it's Kamala. I'll say it however I damn well please. Hey chat, asking for a friend. Is Kamala Harris married? Just asking for a friend. Yes. Happily? Zan, stop. I kind of like the way Zan says it. Thank you, Anthony Schuler. Based. I'm curious if anyone here had a problem with, like, me taking issue with people calling for Biden to step down. Because I hope now it's a little clearer why. It wasn't just the fact that I think Biden had the best chance against Trump in November. It's also that this has followed what feels like a malicious campaign by the left and the media to ignore all of this. Like, the amount of negative anti-Biden coverage over his stutters and being old, like the amount of coverage of that dwarfs the coverage of all these things. Hell, we didn't even have, there are things missing here. Like Biden just recently capped the price of insulin at $35 a vial. That was a big one that wasn't even on here. The malice was oozing off of the situation. It felt very malicious to go so hard on Biden while ignoring his achievements, which is that's part of what sucks, you know? Like, I'm a little upset that, like, I've been paying attention to all this, and it seems like half the lefties I speak to don't even know a third of this stuff. Like, they don't even know Biden did a third of these things. And if they did, it might change their perspective. They might not have been calling for Biden to step down. But, on the other hand, if you're going to back Kamala, and you're going to argue in favor of Kamala, you have to acknowledge Biden's achievements, because Biden's achievements are also Kamala's achievements. So frankly, I kind of consider it a win-win from my perspective. We get a candidate who inherits the achievements of Biden, and the people who deny the achievements of Biden have to acknowledge those achievements if they like Kamala, because that is Kamala's record, are her and Biden's achievements. So those things can't be ignored anymore if you want to positively cover Kamala. And then on the other area, Kamala does not have the same weaknesses as Biden. She has other weaknesses that may be exploited, like the Cop Mala stuff and her being a prosecutor and like the prosecuting kids for truancy stuff that was always talked about during the primaries. But I don't know how resonant that will be with people compared to the old thing. Like, no one could deny that Biden was old, but people can pretend like Kamala didn't do a thing if she did a thing that makes her look bad, right? That's fucked. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I mean, it is what it is, you know? Kamala's our option. District attorney, not field officer. I thought she was a prosecutor. DA, my bad. District attorney. Isn't that a type of prosecutor? I'm pretty sure a DA is a type of prosecutor, right? Because you're the one who charges criminals and makes the case for the state to charge someone with a crime. Yeah, you're a prosecutor. Okay, yeah, same thing. Yep. Her jailing innocent people through corruption is sticking with me real hard. Nope, you guys don't. Nope. You guys don't get to complain about Kamala. No. I know Kamala. There's a lot of stuff you guys that are going to hear about Kamala that's going to make you feel like she is much worse than Biden. There's a reason why she won the Democratic primary, or lost the Democratic primary to Biden. You guys don't get to complain about that stuff, though. This is what you wanted. You're on the K train now. This is the ticket. This is the ticket you bought, my friends. You don't get to complain about Kamala. Oh, I feel so fucking good right now. This is my I told you so. You don't get... If I see any of the fuckers complaining about Biden, complaining about Kamala, immediately, nope, this is what you wanted. You gotta be on the Kamala train. This is what you wanted. You got what you wanted. This is what you argued for. It's not what I wanted. I know, I think you were on the Biden shouldn't drop out thing, but... Oh. AOC was right, TBH. Didn't AOC say something, the reason why I'm pretty sure the reason Biden dropped out is the donors pulling out is AOC said as much. Let me see if I can find the clip. Here's a TikTok that AOC posted earlier today.
And I'm gonna say,
Oh, this is someone's re-upload. I don't want this re-upload. I want to find the original. Where's the original clip? Oh, it's an hour long. New Congresswoman AOC just did a nearly hour-long live where she shared her grave concerns with replacing President Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee. Here's the full video, minus the very short intro she did on other work she's been doing at the moment. We'll skim this a little bit. Do you guys want to skim, like, AOC's concerns about replacing Biden? It was an Insta Live. Makes sense. Obviously don't want to doom her here. I know I was getting messages from people saying Vosh called her retarded for this take. Like Bernie and AOC have been saying basically this for a few days, and apparently Vosh called them both retarded for it, which isn't great. I think Bernie and AOC are pretty good and pretty smart.
don't love where we're at. They don't love our options. A lot of people don't love that we have the same exact matchup all over again, which is to say that the debate didn't change much at all. It didn't really change a lot in terms of people's perceptions, in terms of where the electorate is at. And
I wish the R word would die, kind of insulting as an autistic person. I assure you, CJ Lowen, no one who uses the R slur, if you want me to call it that, on the left, is using it to refer to people being autistic or, like, neurodivergent. It is pretty unanimously used to mean dumb but meaner sounding.
going into the debate, I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew that the president is old. The president is very old. Donald Trump is also very old and a racist and a neo-Nazi.
AOC said herself she doesn't watch the news and isn't in the loop in this exact conversation, so IDK why she's making declarative statements on Biden's public perception. What? She's a congresswoman. She's there for it. You understand that she's not a celebrity that's just got like a popular political figure or something, right? She's literally a congresswoman. She is in Washington. It's like being... She doesn't need to learn this shit from the news. If anything, she is the news. She's the person who has leaked things to the public before the press has. She knows she is part of the DNC. She is part of the squad, the most popular part of the DNC. She knows this shit. What are you talking about, dog? How are you deluding yourself? It's good that she hasn't watched the news. Her perception isn't colored by, like, secondary sources with a bias. She witnesses this stuff herself in the halls of Congress.
Nazi. But anyways, I'm not even going to talk about Trump right now. So we knew that going into it. And I feel like people knew that coming out of it. Now, what we also saw, and what I've seen, is that a lot of people who follow politics.
Yeah, you can't insult my queen AOC. I'm an actual AOC simp, okay? I would let her, like, stomp my skull into mush and, like, jelly, all right? Like, I have to stand up for my queen, sorry.
Politics, a lot that I've noticed of kind of this, like, class of people above, I shouldn't say above, but, like, separate from voters. Like, we all know, we live in this country. There's voters, and then there's people with power, and there's people with a lot of money, and there's people with a lot of influence. And in the country that we live in, we have everyday people, and we have voters, and we have government, and then you kind of have this class of people in between, from pundits and media and wealthy people and donors and organization leaders and whatever, and they kind of occupy this space in between. Oh, look at that. They kind of occupy this space
That's a neat
in
feature.
between voters and the policies that we get. And a lot of times that's why government sucks, right? Like, because lobbyists are there and whatever's happening. Anyways, so the debate happens, it doesn't go well. And then all of a sudden afterwards, you get a lot of people in this strata, and I'm not here to dismiss if you think, for example, if you are of the opinion that Joe Biden should be replaced as a nominee, I'm not here to attack you on that. I'm not here to, like, whatever.
Man, it's insane how much negativity, like, AOC got for this. I haven't even seen this clip before. I thought AOC, like, at least came in hot, or at least came in swinging to incur as much hate as she got. But, like, people were going hard on her for this. I thought it was, like, way worse. I thought it would have been, like, something just, like, more offensive, at least, you know? Like, something that would at least, like, realistically set people off. Yeah, she's just very reasonable and like, well put here.
But I just want you to know what I'm seeing. And this group of people, right? Like, if you believed this before, that didn't change anything. What changed was this class of people.
She's talking about the mega donors. She has to be very... If you're wondering why she's being so non-specific, it's because she relies just as much as any other politician in Washington on mega donor support and does not want to lose that support. So she's very subtly basically hinting at this is already public news, but she's not referring to it because she doesn't want to incur that wrath. But the mega donors were pulling support for Biden. That's truly what forced him to drop out. It was the mega donors pulling support. A lot of people attribute this to Biden's recent tax policies with progressive tax policy that hiked taxes significantly for billionaires to help pay for, you know, things for the poor and middle class people like us. And of course, those billionaires who are these parties' mega donors did not like that. And that was really what killed Biden in the end, you know, politically. I thought it was because of his age. No, I pop memes. I mean, like, the media was negatively covering Biden for his age, and a lot of people were angry at Biden because of his age. But the mega donors, they donated more than any campaign has ever generated ever a year and a half ago for this currently doddering old Biden. Something changed in the last week or so that made the media coverage go from Biden's old haha to Biden needs to step down now. You know, like, something happened, and one of the things that happened was Biden's progressive tax policy. So, you know, just worth thinking about.
Fine, valid. Now, what I am concerned by when it comes to this case is that they are, the case for
the debate
this
didn't help either.
is about polling. Like, there's someone here in the chat, right? He's behind in every swing state. This isn't an argument. Others may be polling better, etc. I think that this is the case that's being laid out, right? It is about the polling. It's about the data. And again, I'm not here to dismiss people. And I think it's very important to say that. And I think it's very important to say in general that I'm not here to question or attack the motives of
Rookie mistake, listening to chatters, yeah.
Regardless of their position on this. Like, I think what is motivating and way too reflexive in this habit of anyone who doesn't agree with me is stupid, or everyone, or whatever.
True.
People, a landscape of things because of favor after the debate, the performance. Now,
Dude, why were people giving her shit for this? This was so well reasoned and just, like, chill. God, people were freaking out at her for this. Jesus Christ. Really, AOC? You start by saying you want to be honest. Then you gaslight us by saying there's not enough time and people ought to have brought up their concerns 6 to 12 months ago. Biden blocked a competitive primary and killed all dissension. You know that, don't you? How did Biden block the primary? Let's fact check that. Biden blocks 2024 primary. Let's see. Okay, now everything's getting drowned out. Everything's drowned out by Biden dropping out. Fuck, dude. Google, please. Dude, everything's fucking drowned out now. Everything is just headlines about Biden dropping out from an hour ago. Can I find anything that's more than today old, please? I'm on page 3 now of Google results. Oh, here we go. Biden won't have challengers in NC 2024 primary election. State Democratic Party decides. Democratic President Joe Biden appears headed to an automatic victory in North Carolina's 2024 Democratic primary. The North Carolina Democratic primary has declined to allow any Biden challengers onto the ballot for March's elections. At least 2 politicians, Representative Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson, a self-help author from California who has also ran for president in 2020, have mounted challenges to Biden this year. As much as Marianne Williamson is cringe, I don't think they should have not been allowed on the ballot. Okay, there's at least seems to be merit to this. It wasn't Biden that blocked these people. It was like the DNC just said, nah, we're not letting anyone challenge Biden. He's the incumbent. But unless they fight for it, they won't be allowed to be on the ballot in North Carolina. The State Board of Elections voted Tuesday to accept all the lists of candidates for the primary submitted by the state's political parties, including the Democratic Party's Biden-only selection. Tommy Maddox, a spokesman for the North Carolina Democratic Party, defended the decision to make Biden the only option. He's the only one who's worked to earn it, he said. In order to get on the ballot, you need to have donors in the state and be actively campaigning in the state. Dude, you have to have donors in the state. Oh my God. I love how you can read articles from a year ago and it all starts to come together. It's the fucking donors, dude. It really is just the fucking donors who decide all this shit. Who's even allowed to run? The donors decide it. Oh my God, dude. I definitely think this Jonathan Greenberg person is stupid, but they are right about competitors being blocked in the primary. But it wasn't by Biden. It was by the DNC and the mega donors, dude. God damn. 3 things I took away. She's hearing more concern from the donors than for the people. We cannot assume Kamala would be on the top of the ticket if Joe doesn't run. Changing candidates at this point may be risky because probable litigation by the GOP. Yeah, that's a big issue as well. I brought that up earlier, how the GOP plans to keep off the ballot any new nominee that isn't Biden, because Biden's going to be on the ticket. Like, they can't challenge that. But anyone else, unless they're primaried, well, they could challenge it theoretically, and they could possibly, in some red states, keep that blue nominee off the ballot. The future is scary. It's a little scary, but we're going to stay positive. We're going to stay positive. God, there's a lot of mean comments on this. There's a few positive ones. Like, a couple people were like, I agree with AOC. Or just, I don't really agree, but I think she's well-spoken here, so that's nice. What's her, I'm curious what AOC's statement is. Has she backed Kamala? She hasn't been active on Twitter in like 2 days. Her last post was 2 days ago. Or actually, no, her last post was 3 days ago. Her last retweet was possibly 2 days ago, but could have been more recent, I guess, because the tweet's from the 20th. So she hasn't said anything, at least on Twitter. Let's see, what's trending? If we look at the Kamala Harris trend, what's being talked about? Kamala is celebrating right now. Oh no, guys. This post has 30k likes. Kamala should just run this on TV as a 30-second spot to confuse and or terrify the boomers. There's about a 50-50 chance of this being based or cringe. Are you ready? This has 30,000 likes.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake.
I feel like this has crossed from cringe into peak. You know what I mean? Like it's gone deep enough into the darkness that it's found the light.
I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your look.
Dude, I kind of hope we need to We need to have pictures of Kamala, like, full cop uniform, like, arms crossed and looking stern, looking at Trump, and it's just law and order. That needs to be, like, how we handle the Trump thing. Like, Kamala is coming to arrest Donald. That needs to be how we handle this. That needs to be the meme we get out of this.
Sister from them. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the...
Sorry, Ethan, you're gonna have to mute that shit. I'm pretty sure we're getting demonetized and content claimed and striked if that doesn't get muted in post. That's it's gonna be rough. You know, frankly, I think we all need to acknowledge. I retweeted this before stream because I wanted to save it for stream. I feel like if no one else can take Biden's spot, I think this guy should.
As your future president, my first policy would be to increase gun control. No, young man, put the gun down. Fight like real niggas. I also have the solution to the 1% problem in America. Check this out. Is this your beamer, young man?
Yes, it is.
Not anymore. Back the fuck up and give me the keys. Thank you. You random nigga over there, this is your shit now. Come on, man.
Oh,
Come on, man. Appreciate it, fam. Future American president. Lastly, as your president, I have a solution to world hunger. We're gonna feed these noodles to the needy 3 times a day.
Love Maruchan noodles.
Vote
Future
for Mark
president.
Phillips, ex-trap nigga, your future president.
He's got my vote. People want a link. I'll drop the link in chat. That's my guy. Nah, but for real, Kamala Harris, I think is a pretty good nominee. I think she's pretty much the second best option besides Biden. I think Biden would still have a better chance because, like, he's literally beaten Trump before, even with the odds against him as they are now, or were then, I guess. Got to prefer to Biden as a nominee in the past tense now. I'm hoping the best for Kamala Harris. We are fully on the Kamala train. Expect a lot of coverage of, I guess, instead of covering it as, like, Biden's achievements, it'll be, like, Kamala and Biden's achievements, or I guess Kamala's achievements. How should I frame it? Like, because Biden's still president, should we just, like, make all of the videos about Biden's achievements now and just attribute them entirely to Kamala Harris? Just like Kamala did this and just not even mention Biden's name? It's just like, oh yeah, Kamala, all on her own, all by herself, did this thing today, passed this bill. The administration's achievements? Nah, they're Kamala's achievements now. Yeah, we ride with Kamala. Nah, we should attribute them to Biden and Kamala. Fair. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this. It's overall, I do think it's sad that Biden stepped down since I think he's got, like, the best record of any American president ever, and I wish more of America knew that, you know? But now that he's not even running anymore, maybe he'll just be kind of, like, for the last few months of his presidency, maybe he'll just be evaluated honestly. Maybe the media will just genuinely give him a fair shake, and knowing that he doesn't have to worry about re-election, he can just go a little nutty and go a little more left than he might have otherwise, like maybe pass some policies he would have done in his second term, just kind of speed run everything he has left planned to do, like as much as he can, just prep things for a hopeful Kamala presidency. Maybe 2 consecutive Kamala presidencies would be nice. We just gotta hope for the best, and it's not just about hoping. That's what you guys got to remember. It's not about just hoping. We are not just spectators in this. Your vote matters. Your voice matters. You need to use your voice that was otherwise promoting Biden or shit-talking Biden to now promote Kamala. Because at the end of the day, it's all about stopping Trump, and Kamala is our only chance now. She is our candidate. She will be... I don't 100% know, but I'm assuming she takes Biden's place here, like by default. She will be the person who runs against Trump. So you better get very comfortable with voting for her and start getting other people comfortable with it too. And I really don't think, for those of you guys who think it's all over, I don't think it's all over. I think you should be more optimistic. Do not succumb to despair. Do not doomer. If you do, then you are basically creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're one of the people that's doomering over Kamala, you're basically just creating that self-fulfilling prophecy where you are spreading apprehension and like disaffectedness and malaise, and when that spreads, then you're creating the future you worry about. You don't want to do that. Just be motivated. Fake it till you make it, even. Anyway, with all that said, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like. It really does mean a lot and goes a long way, and I appreciate it a ton. Every single thumbs up goes a long way to boost the channel and the algorithm, basically live boosting my channel and making my stuff go up, all my numbers go up. I do appreciate it. And of course, consider subscribing, ring the bell icon, and commenting down below to help support the channel as well. It's all totally free, and it really does mean a lot to me. You guys have clearly been dumping loads of support in the channel lately, because we're about to crest 91,000 subscribers. We are literally less than 10k subs away from 100,000. I will have the silver play button up on that wall, like, pretty soon. So definitely keep up with the subs, the likes, the comments. It is helping so much. I really do appreciate it. Follow my social medias, linked down below in the description. Follow my social medias as well. Join my fan Discord as well. It's totally free. It's the main hub of my community and my fan base, and I also host events there, including my game events, watch parties, call-in streams, and I announce all my new uploads and streams, so if you're there, you won't miss anything. And on top of that, if you want to support me financially, do not forget you can support me financially by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. With all that said, thank you for watching this segment. I hope you enjoyed. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. I can tell we got a lot of new viewers here today because a ton of people were like, is it over? Is it over? I do a call to action at the outro of every segment that I record live because it also acts as like an intermittent call to action for people to engage with the stream, not just a call to action for people to engage with the video when it comes out. It's like two birds, one stone type situation. The only downside is people interpret it as me ending stream a little often. Once you get used to it, though, I clearly indicate when I'm ending stream. I'll say it like a dozen times, like, I'm wrapping up soon, I'm wrapping up soon. Like, I'll keep saying that. I'll give you warning before I end. It never just comes out of nowhere, I feel. Yes, Bad Dragon Love 969. You missed the Biden segment. We're on the Kamala train now. We are the K-Hive. All right. I'm going to get the next segment queued up, and then we are going to start with our next segment. Or I'm going to read donos, and then we're going to start with the next segment. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. Libs of TikTok has me blocked. I forgot she's like an enormous pussy. I DM'd her once saying, debate me, and then I called her a slur that I won't repeat on stream. But if it ever comes out, I will 100% own it. And, like, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. It's something it's something many of you would probably not be okay with me. I called her the F slur. I'm not gonna lie. I called her I straight up DM'd her, and I said, debate me, and then I called her the F slur. Sorry guys, but, you know. She blocked me for it. I'm sorry. I knew she would get particularly upset at that, and I had like 5 LGBT people on call who gave me permission to do it, and I was like, all right, if it ever comes out, then I'm just gonna own it. You know, I'm just gonna completely own it. Who cares? It's fucking Chaya. Anyway. Oh boy. You all know what to do when Is my fucking... Hold on. I think my Opera is frozen. Like, completely broken, frozen. Sorry, Ethan, you're gonna have to edit... Wow, my Opera is broken. What the heck? Yeah, I was gonna read the donos, but my Opera broke. I had everything queued up for the segment, too, and I can't even copy the links now? Dude. It broke my music. It broke every link for the segment. Can I even close it? Oh, I can't even close it because it's so broken. The X button, minimize, and windowed button are all gone, and the window's completely frozen. But if I close it in Task Manager, I lose everything. I have so many important tabs open. I have to end stream if I can't get them back open because I can't read donos. I can't, like, everything's broken if oh man, dude. This fucking blows, dog. Task Manager, performance, processes. What the fuck, bro? There's so many Opera GXs. What the fuck? I'm just gonna close the top one. Oh, all my chats closed, too. Alright, hopefully they open back up, like everything restores when I reopen Opera now. Okay, kind of. Kind of. I have to move everything back around. That's really annoying. Opera, gross. Yeah, I know. But it's the only browser with RAM control, memory control, which helps to prevent stuff like this. It's just, you can't really prevent stuff like this anymore. Browsers are so loaded with junk now that they crash your fucking computer. Like, I have a top-tier beast PC from 2020. Like, back in 2020, this was like a top-of-the-line PC, and it crashes sometimes from fucking browsers having like 12 tabs open. They've loaded browsers with so much junk, they will crash a top-of-the-line PC with just a browser alone. It's insane. Let me stop that recording and junk it real fast, because it got completely fucked. Okay, that was the segment I just did, I think. Is this the... Yeah, okay. Cool, cool. All right, I got rid of the broken segment. Nice. Let me read the donos now. Sorry about that, chat. Alexia, wow, thank you so much for the 5 Tier 1 gifted subs. That is extremely generous of you. Thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. That is $25 dues right there, and it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Gifted to Solo6483, Xerox, Muttbites, Sun Eater, and that one Luna. Thank you so freaking much. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Says, am I the only one who wants Kamala to do Project 2025 but blue if she wins, just so the Republicans would have to ban it? That's not how it works. Project 2025 is already a plan to, like, destroy law and order in this country. No, it wouldn't work if Democrats ever tried to pull it off. The Republicans would block it very successfully. Like, there would be riots in the streets. They would, like, storm cities with their guns. Like, it would not be a good idea. Slashy, thank you for the $5 donation. Very kind of you. Very based. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. It says, if Biden had done well in the debate, I wonder how he would have been taken out of the race. The mega donors probably would have still pulled. Like, Biden's policies have been, like, increasingly, like, getting him hate from, like, the mega donor and extremely wealthy crowd that funds a lot of the mainstream media and the DNC and, like, the campaign funds and everything. Like, the thing you guys have to understand is, if, say, Bernie won and he was just doing all the things you guys wanted for Bernie to do, the media would have destroyed him, just as they have Biden, but harder. The more you try to change America for the better, the more that currently existing systems will manipulate the public into thinking they are bad. Whether it be the media, whether it be other members of the party, there are a lot of people that exist in Washington to improve their bottom line, even on the same party as others, and they will let all no holds barred against somebody who threatens their best interest. Look at how they handled Bernie. Who remembers how the media handled Bernie? Biden got the Bernie treatment for the last week, and it worked. This just isn't true, Zan.
This just isn't true. This just isn't true. The media never hyper-focused on his stutters. People cared about that long before the media hyper-focused on it, totally.
Nope, stay mad. Support Kamala. That's only true when your leadership is staffed by the biggest idiots in politics who do not have the foresight to actually try to control the narrative. How was Vosh right? What? Vosh was right that Biden should step down because Biden stepped down? No, I'd say it was probably a bad decision, but I'm still behind Kamala. Enjoy the band, though. I know you're trying to troll. When we said blue no matter who, we actually meant no matter who, yeah. There's just a lot of people that, like, really hated Biden, and they're celebrating that Biden stepped down, and they want this to be a W for them because Biden's gone, but they don't want to accept the fact that, like, to like Kamala means you have to admit Biden was good. Because, like, all of Kamala's achievements are Biden's achievements, too. I would vote for a feral possum if it was blue. Good. So do you admit that Vosh poo-poo pee-pee piss-poop, huh, Zan? Do you admit it now? That's a good comment. I like that comment a lot, Lay Joker. Zan, thanks for opening my eyes on all the good stuff Biden has done. I've been educating all my previously non-voting friends. Well, now that's all stuff that Kamala has done, okay? As much as I still want to, like, argue with the dumb fucks who are like, you were wrong, Zan, you were wrong. Because, like, they ended up being lucky that, like, the Dem mega donors agreed with them that they don't like Biden. I wonder why. Like, good job. You agreed with the Democrat billionaire mega donors. You did it, man. You did it. I still want to be condescending to those people. I would vote for a chimpanzee if it was progressive. I would vote for a chimpanzee. Yeah, dude, a chimpanzee would be awesome. Yeah. I love the angry chatter voice, Zan. That's literally the voice that I use to describe people who are annoying when I'm, like, making fun of people with my friends. I just go,
I don't like Dawn Trail because I thought it was going to be all about the tropical jungle. It has an actual story.
Yeah. And anybody who I think is dumb, I describe that. I just do that voice for them. South Park has... It doesn't sound like anything from South Park from my hearing, but maybe over a mic it does. I would vote for a feral possum just because I like possums. Also, I'm very sad that Biden dropped out because, yeah, I really like him, and I'm not ashamed of it. I would crawl over broken glass to vote blue. I am the spirit of what the tankies call blue MAGA. True. True MAGA, or blue MAGA is when you vote blue no matter who, apparently. Zan, the only true good thing I can think of with Biden dropping out is that there's one less barrier keeping the left disunited. No, there's always going to be an excuse. You guys need to understand that within the next week, there's going to be a reason for why we can't support Kamala. You guys get that, right? Like, within the next week, like, the real decider of, like, who just kind of hated Biden and who's, like, actually maybe insidious is going to be who doesn't support Kamala now. If they were against Biden and don't support Kamala now, it's... If they start doing the whole she's a cop, she's backing the genocide, if they start doing that shit, they just want Trump to win. That, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no plausible deniability. There is no questionability. They just want Trump to win. They got what they wanted, and Kamala's still not good enough at that point. It's like, okay. I mean, the right's going to come up with reasons, but I'm curious if the media is going to. That's Cenk and Kyle Kalinske. Yeah, what are they going to say? Like, are they going to be anti-Kamala? They're going to probably say Kamala has brain damage or some crap? Maybe. I don't know. Let's hope not. We're always divided as a party, but the messaging must be that we have to prevent dictatorship? Yeah. Yeah. The term blue MAGA is just really funny to me. Like, anybody using that term is really? I think it was like Vosh called me blue MAGA or something. Or maybe one of his or a bunch of his fans were. It was like, okay, I'm blue MAGA because I support Biden because he's the current guy. And I'm blue MAGA now, I guess, because I support Kamala because she's the current lady. It wasn't Vosh. That's good. I know that there were people in his chat calling me blue MAGA, and I heard that term for the first time seriously being used as an insult, and I was just... I thought it was a joke. Like, I'd heard blue MAGA before, but I thought it was a joke. I think Demon Mama popularized the term. It's a really dumb term. That's very cringe of her. You could probably cover Jimmy Dore's response, would be good content. No one expects Jimmy Dore to have a good response, though. Jimmy Dore is like a through-and-through, tried-and-true grifter. There's just certain types of lefties that are dead set on sabotaging the left regardless of their reasoning is contingent with reality or not. Yeah, those are the people I'm curious to see. What's their new... Like, what is their thing gonna be now? Cenk Uygur already said he wouldn't support Harris so he can get fucked. Oh, Cenk Uygur's already on the no Kamala Harris isn't good enough train. For those that don't know, Cenk Uygur was one of the people, like, screaming for Biden to step down. Apparently, he won't vote for Kamala either. Why not? Because it was never about Biden being old. This is really where we're going to get to see the people who are saying Biden needs to step down, he's not electable. We're going to find out who actually meant Biden needs to step down because he's not electable, and who just didn't like Biden because his policies are progressive or maybe other reasons. The Free Palestine online lefties are already complaining about Kamala? Yeah. We'll see. We've got our first chance here for a MILF president, guys. We can't throw this away. You gotta vote for Kamala, all right? The word electable needs to be excised from our vocabulary. True! The concept of electability over actually good president potential is, like, the fact that anybody cares about electability is so fucking cringe. At least Vosh is optimistic now. Yeah, hopefully the Doomer content will stop and it'll finally be, like, pleasant to go watch that content. Because, like, I straight up stopped watching his content, like, 6 months ago when it just hard lines started going, like, Doomer mode about Biden being the nominee. I hope it lasts. I hope it lasts. Slashy, thank you for the $5 redues. I do appreciate it. Very kind of you. Very based, very pog, very kind. And Alex Wooten, thank you for the 4 tier 1 gifted subs. Very based and pog. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $20 redues. Said, gifted to Lucky Otter, Dynamis, Straw Hat Monty 97, and Queen of Gravel. Said, paying it forward, stay positive, friends. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Thank you so much, Alex Wooten. And Slashy, thank you for the two tier 1 gifted subs to Grand Zanfan and Citizen Godfather. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $10 redues. Very kind of you. I hope they appreciate their gifted subs. Says, will it be a problem that Trump is likely to avoid debating Harris? If he avoids debating Harris, it'll make him look weak, I think. If he avoids debating her, it'll make him look weak. And if he debates her, he'll fail and look weak, I think. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's a lose-lose for Trump. Debating her or not debating her. The only way I think Trump could spin it is if he tries to do the whole, like, Kamala was not elected. She is not a genuine, real candidate. Is Destiny still a Trump supporter? What? Destiny's never been a Trump supporter. What are you talking about, First Last? Check out this AI abomination. Guys, I dislike AI art conceptually, but sometimes in practice it's fine. Like, a thing being AI art doesn't immediately make it an abomination visually. A lot of these are actually pretty decent looking generations because they probably put these through like a shitload of retries for the prompts. I feel like if you're going to focus on the horror of AI, you got to look at the like AI horror stuff. The stuff you made, yeah, that image looks good, Max Phoenix. Look at this image. Like, this image is not an abomination. Obviously, it's got plenty of flaws to it, but it's pleasant to look at. I don't think it's ugly looking. I think it achieves a certain, like, liminal... Like, something that AI images can do really well, easily, is, like, achieving liminal vibes, you know? That sort of, like, washed out, empty, hollow... Like, the fact that it's so soulless and has no human input is what helps it to look so eerie. It's really good for producing liminal spaces, and I feel like the lack of human input is what helps to make it more genuine as an uncanny liminal space for that specific purpose. So sometimes I kind of like AI-generated stuff. Obviously, there's, like, the comedy stuff, but yeah. It needs to be heavily legislated, though. Yeah, like stealing... well, it's not just that it steals from artists, like, in the traditional sense, where people are using it instead of hiring artists. It's that sometimes it literally steals from artists. Like, I think Photoshop is using AI to train... Like, it's training its AI on the art of its users in order to, like, use, like, their art style for their own, like, art generation with their program. Just like you are signing that as part of the TOS when you agree to use Photoshop. They're using AI and training it off of your art. And you've agreed to it legally. They own it now because you use Photoshop. And Scapegoat, thank you for the $5 donation. I do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Very base. Said, you didn't read my last donation on Biden, but that's okay. Here's a relevant clip. This is funny. This is from The Onion. No audio? Wait, no audio. Oh! Oh, because Opera GX. Opera GX. Yep, sorry, because I had to close Opera GX, and so you have to recapture it. You have to reselect the window to capture every time. I forgot. Even if it closes. Isn't streaming fun, guys? Isn't it so user-friendly with so many built-in ways of just, like, automatically just doing a bro a solid, like, recognizing you're playing audio and you know, just, you know, isn't it nice? Isn't streaming fun? Is it so user-friendly? I love when just one thing crashes and it breaks my chat, my fucking audio, and everything. And I have to, like, reset up stream. It's so great. I hate using Opera on my phone. It makes some web pages dark for no reason. It's got a built-in dark mode because that's what gamers like. Gamers can't handle light in their eyes, so Opera GX's default dark mode because it's advertised for gamers with the whole, like, controlling of memory usage and everything. Because if you use Chrome, you're probably very used to games crashing on you because you've got, like, Chrome open while gaming because you'll run out of memory and it'll crash your computer, blue screen your shit. Ugh. All right. It is time to prep, or not prep, but do the next segment. Let's go, guys. Let me resume our music. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, everybody. For those of you guys that don't know, I am currently blocked by the famous right-wing poster, Libs of TikTok. Even if I click on a link to one of her posts, I literally cannot see it. I can't even view it in incognito mode because Elon made it so you have to have an account to view anything on Twitter. So unless I make an alt or something to be able to bypass it and see Libs of TikTok's tweets, I think it's probably because I did message her. I DM'd her once on Twitter, and I said, debate me. And I had a few LGBT friends in call with me at the time who said, you should also call her the F-slur. And I was like, are you sure? And they were like, yeah, you've got the pass. And I was like, okay. They were like, consider it like you're doing it for us. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I said, debate me, and then the F-slur. The next morning, I noticed that a Libs of TikTok tweet was quote tweeted by one of my friends. And why would you call her a slur? Because LGBT people told me to. I was sending the message for them, frankly. I can already tell the YouTube chatters are going to be all salty and angry. So funny. Because it's funny, yeah. Anyway, I noticed that I could not see the tweet that had been quote tweeted from Libs of TikTok the next morning. I was like, oh, interesting. Why not? And I clicked on it, and sure enough, this is what I saw. You are unable to view this tweet because the account owner limits who can view their posts. So apparently I offended her by using free speech so much that she fucking blocked me. So that's pretty funny. That's pretty hilarious. And I want you to remember that. I want you to remember the fact that the person we're discussing this entire segment blocked me on Twitter because I called her the mean word that she, frankly, probably uses frequently, all the time. But hey, it's probably more likely because I challenged her to a debate than I called her that. But you know, it's funny. I think the left should start appropriating slurs. I think we should start calling conservative slurs, and we should start normalizing it. Even when it makes no sense in context, just destroying any previous meaning the slurs had and just rebranding them to be like mean words to describe conservatives. Everyone say your favorite slur at the top of your lungs on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. What? Why you guys didn't do it? What? I was totally going to do it, but you guys didn't do it. You know, I was going to jump, but you guys didn't, so I didn't jump. Oh my god. Wait, chat, no. Oh my god. You weren't supposed to do it. What the fuck? The joke was gonna be, like, when you're gonna, like, oh yeah, we're gonna jump on the count of 3. And you do 1, 2, 3, and you, like, fake jumping and no one really jumps. So you're like, oh, I was totally gonna jump, but then I noticed you weren't. And so I stopped. God damn it, chat. Now, you won't get banned, because as you can see, the website, like, it censors, like, bad words. It censors God. You can't even say balls or God without it censoring you, so you're fine. Anyway, I want you to remember that Chaya has me blocked through the entirety of this segment. Like, she has blocked me. She is afraid to debate me. She is afraid of my power. And all the while, she has become a doxer. For those who don't know, let me see if I can find a screenshot of the post. Oh, cool. Just opening it in a whole new window. It's totally what I wanted. Thank you. Thank you, Opera GX. You're the worst. #1 worst browser every year in a row. Thank you. And I am happy to report it is already swept under the rug, guys. There are no Google Images screenshots whatsoever of the Libs of TikTok tweet that we're going to be talking about today. So despite this being only a few days old and currently being talked about frequently, it's already been thoroughly swept under the rug. Very thoroughly swept under the rug, whether by fucking Chaya Raichik herself or just the fact that browsers have gotten so shitty now, you can't find anything anymore. Anyway, the story goes as follows. As you guys know, a couple days ago, there was, or I should say like a week ago now, there was an attempted assassination on Trump. It failed. They ended up kind of clipping his ear a little bit, and it was very nearly fatal, but they missed. And as you can imagine, a lot of people who aren't thrilled about the idea of losing their rights or enduring fascism in America if Trump wins, they were pretty disappointed that like the easy, we're home free from fascism possibility did not occur. And they lamented the aim of the shooter on social media. In response to this, and even just like lightly criticizing Trump, many of the largest right-wing accounts on Twitter, which started out just like posting clips of unhinged lefties on TikTok or whatever and making fun of them, has now escalated to the point of just becoming dedicated doxing accounts. Like, just straight up. Libs of TikTok, most notably, doxed and got fired just a random Home Depot employee because said Home Depot employee had posted on Facebook that they wished that the shooter hadn't missed. And Libs of TikTok and her fan base got this person fired from their job after doxing them. It is not the first time that Libs of TikTok has doxed entities or institutions, but it is the first time that Libs of TikTok has started doxing random people. Like, legitimately just random people. Like, 2 years ago, Libs of TikTok was blowing up off of... I think this whole cancel culture thing's just gone too far, that whole thing. And now she has made it her job to find random people who just post on Facebook that they wish the shooter didn't miss. And now, yeah. Guys, I appreciate you linking me these things, but I can't... Ride the rails. What makes you think I can see the tweet because you linked it? The whole first 10 minutes of this segment was me talking about how I'm, like, blocked by Libs of TikTok. Why would I be able to see? Like I said, chat, it's got to be screenshots. She blocked me. She's an absolute massive pussy. But if we could see her post, it would show that alt account. I'm not making an alt for Twitter. Stop asking. If we could see her her post, it's her showing a video of a conservative that recorded the video, like harassing the Home Depot employee in public. I believe we've got the original video here. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, embeds still show. So here's Libs of TikTok's tweet, but it's an embed. Hi at Home Depot. Are you aware that you employ people who call for political violence and the assassination of presidents? Any comment? And then this is a Libs of TikTok fan who sent her this video of them harassing this lady who posted on Facebook she wished the shooter didn't miss. There's just a random Home Depot employee that they are, like, doxing and getting fired.
Are you Darcy Waldron? Yeah?
Hold on, the music won't stop. There we go. Sorry, the music was still playing.
Okay, from Cayuga? And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
I am at work.
You think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
I am at work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. Pretty anti-American, if you ask me. As a veteran, I'm disgusted. What have you provided to this country?
She got fired for this, by the way. These people won. They won. They won entirely. This guy went to her, like, doxed her, found out where she worked, harassed her at her job, and she got fired for it. They've realized that if they just target these random, everyday people, there's not an army of people there to support them. There's no accountability for their getting fired because of, like, a harassment campaign. So they are making it their goal to just ruin the lives of individual random people who dare to criticize or say anything negative about Trump with harsh pressure from her fan base to fire that person. That's so anti-worker. Of course it's anti-worker. They're conservatives. They're not pro-worker. This poor lady. We need a left-wing Libs of TikTok? Well, there can't be. They'd be banned in a second. You realize if you say cis on Twitter, you get banned, right? What would happen if the company refused? They won't. They won't refuse because of the public pressure. There's no public pressure not to fire this woman. That's the thing. That's their method. they're targeting people where there's no public pressure against their, like, campaign to ruin someone's life because they're just a random person.
Huh? I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. And I'm making you famous.
The making you famous thing means I'm doxing you. Like, I'm putting your face in the public. I'm posting your address and your place of work, and obviously sending this to libs of TikTok to get you fired. This is what happens if you dare to be a random person who doesn't like Trump now. This got, of course, 90,000 likes. Libs of TikTok's posted getting this person fired. At least 90,000 people took part in the campaign to get this woman fired. And those are just the people who liked the tweet. There's a service that lets you see Twitter posts without an account. Let me know if you want the link. Oh, that's useful. It's so interesting to me how this all started with, like, cancel culture has gone too far. Most of them being Republicans. Yeah, I mean, obviously, all these people are Republicans. Home Depot's response was, "Hi, this individual's comments don't reflect the Home Depot or our values." Mind you, this is a response directly to libs of TikTok from the Home Depot Twitter account. "Hi, this individual's comments don't reflect the Home Depot or our values. We can confirm that she no longer works at the Home Depot." Twitter is not only fully in the control of Elon Musk, who is a conservative, but is so heavily weighted in favor of conservative accounts that are now, like, the dominant, like, big accounts on Twitter now because artificially inflated, that, like, big companies are basically forced to respond to completely artificial, mostly bots. Like, I imagine most of the likes on that tweet were probably bots. I have no doubt Libs of TikTok is one of the most botted accounts on the entire internet. But despite that, 90,000 likes is a massive public outrage. Home Depot is forced to respond and to fire that woman. The fact is, the Twitter being a right-wing platform now is not universally agreed upon. Like, Elon Musk being a conservative isn't even universally agreed on, despite his endorsement of Trump and everything. You'll run into, like, normies who think Elon is just a genius who happens to support Trump because that's, I guess, who a genius would support in their view. There are a lot of people who are, like, not very partisan and very normie griller types that just, they don't see Twitter as, like, a right-wing platform now that Elon owns it, and all the things on there have been, like, everything's been unbanned. Yeah. What if some big businesses started mocking libs of TikTok? They call the bluff. No, it's not going to happen. Guys, what I'm telling you right now is these platforms, like, these businesses don't recognize Twitter as an artificially boosted right-wing site now that, like, anything popular on there towards them is just some, like, right-wing hysteria. They don't recognize that fact. Instead, they see 90,000 likes on a big tweet asking for someone to be fired, and then they give in because that's all they see. Yeah, Elon is still riding off on a fair bit of goodwill from the past for now. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but, like, outside of the left, Elon is still pretty well liked. I think it's mostly just normies being too scared to call a Nazi, even when they know it's true. They don't even no, trust me. NASDAQ, when no one is afraid to call a Nazi. The normies are not afraid to call a Nazi. They think you're insane for calling Nazis because Nazis are really good at dog whistling. And while it's clear as day to anyone on the left, it's supposed to be. Dog whistles are clear as day to those that are supposed to hear it. We're allowed to know what the dog whistles are because, well, we're tapped into this stuff, and it's more enjoyable for them if they know we know what they mean when they talk about preserving a future for their children or some shit like that. And to the public, it just sounds like some nice standard position. But we know, because we've heard a million Nazis say it word for word, that it's a dog whistle for, like, ethnic cleansing and genocide and, like, birth rate shit. So, like, yeah, you got to remember that for a lot of people, a lot of normies, they don't recognize a Nazi when they see one. Yeah, it's like the Stormfront quote from The Boys. Everyone loves what I have to say. They just don't like the word Nazi. That's all. My family is mostly normies, and when I mention Nazis in America, they get genuinely confused. They're doing less and less to hide. It doesn't matter, Slasher. You need to understand that, like, the average American does not believe that Nazis exist in this country outside of, like, Ku Klux Klan rallies, like, deep in the woods. Like, the fact that you would ever call someone a Nazi or a fascist alone instantly makes them turn their brain off and stop listening to you. It's unfortunate, but that's the crowd that Libs of TikTok preys off of. Dude, it's crazy that she's just a doxing account now. I wonder if she's got to be getting paid by Russia or something, right? There's no way this Libs of TikTok lady isn't like some astroturfed Russian plant, because I remember her rise to prominence really was the most astroturfed thing ever. She had to have botted her way to the top, right? She's always been a doxing account? Yes, but not to this degree. Like, before it was like she doxed children's hospitals and encouraged her fans to send, like, bomb threats, like she did with the Boston's Children's Hospital, which had to shut down for a couple days because her fans sent in bomb threats when she falsely claimed they were doing bottom surgeries on minors. But now she's targeting just random, normal people that are not online figures, that have no platform or way of defending themselves. She's just finding non-Trump supporters to ruin the lives of with her, like, hundreds of thousands of followers and botted accounts. She's got to be getting paid by Russia, right? I feel like she's the most obvious Russia astroturf I've, like, imaginable. Facebook suspended and then immediately restored Libs of TikTok's account at one point. Yeah, Libs of TikTok before Elon bought Twitter was banned and then brought right back. It's like there's something going on. I actually think there's a conspiracy afoot, unironically, with Libs of TikTok. I think she might be like a foreign agent. Not like her necessarily. She might be American, but I think she might be getting backed or getting fed her, like, talking points or lines from foreign agents. That's what I believe. Nope. You guys in YouTube chat can keep malding and coping. Any of you taking issue with what I said, I just leave. You're in YouTube chat for a reason. There are still... Guys... Website chat, I need you to know that joke I made earlier about how we should just start referring to conservatives by slurs. The literal joke, very clear joke I made earlier. I'm like laughing as I'm saying it because I can't keep a straight face. YouTube chat is so YouTube chat. They're still arguing right now about whether I'm racist, about what slurs apply and don't. There are people calling me a right-winger in YouTube chat. Genuinely just the cancer chat. Like, the most cancerous chat imaginable. I'm going to report you for saying slurs. Wait, hold on. What is your profile picture? Do you have a lolicon profile picture? That looks like a lolly profile picture. Yeah, you're getting banned. I thought YouTube chat could take a joke. As the stream has gone on, that's got to be less and less the case, it seems, as the haters have sort of flocked in. God. Man, I really wonder what is the deal with Libs of TikTok? Was she astroturfed? Meet the woman behind Libs of TikTok, secretly fueling the rights outrage machine. This is from... When was this published? 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago. On March 8th, a Twitter account called Libs of TikTok posted a video of a woman teaching sex education to children in Kentucky, calling the woman in the video a predator. The next evening, the same clip was featured on Laura Ingram's Fox News program. Okay, so the line goes from she was a random Twitter poster and then Laura Ingraham. Is she bought out by Russia? Russia. Laura Ingraham tears apart Soviet-style justice in New York. Okay, nothing's coming up. I don't know. Apparently, Fox News immediately picked it up, and that's what really blew her up. It means you feel better she got heaps of sexism for losing the debate against Taylor Lorenz. I don't know what you mean by that. I must be off to shower and have dinner. Have a good one, Heavy Gretel. I hope you have a nice dinner. Have a good night. If you call them nationalists, it's more believable. Call them ANCAPs, it's more believable. Call them evangelical religious fanatics who might commit a war crime over their fake god, and we all have met a person like that in this past month alone. Yeah, you can't use the word fascist or Nazi. These are words that have just become like, people just turn their brains off when they hear them. And they assume like you're crazy SJW or whatever. But yeah, Libs of TikTok got that lady fired. You covered her conversation. Yeah, I did, but I don't know what you mean about the sexism or whatever. Regardless, though, I think that's really what I wanted to say about all this, is that the same conservatives who got big off of fear-mongering about cancel culture going too far are now making a career out of doxing and getting people fired for not liking Trump, just random people. So, yeah, pretty crazy how things have come full circle, huh? The right has always been everything they accuse the left of being, every single time. It's just the big, like, everything they accuse the left of doing is just the biggest self-report every single time. Like, we just got to start operating under that assumption by default always now. At this point, it's just so consistently the case. Why are we even denying it now? Yes, I am Big Dick Bandit. I love Dead Rising. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, consider leaving a like. It really does mean a lot and goes a long, long way. Every single thumbs up goes far in the algorithm to boost my channel and helps a lot. You can also subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications and comment down below. Helps the channel a ton, and I really do appreciate it. On top of that, you can follow my social... Did I already tell you guys? No, yeah. Follow my social medias, join my fan Discord, and if you want to support me directly, financially, you can donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch to the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. Well, just so you know, stream's not over, Anthony Schuler. Sorry, Valen Killian. We are busy today. And I'd like to keep my monetization. I'm sure it's good, Valen Killian, but we're in a bit of a... We're in a bit of a time crunch today. Yeah, maybe she'll endorse Kamala. Are we having a watch party today? Why would we be having a watch party today? It's Sunday. Why are you asking? It's always either Thursdays or Fridays, whichever day I end up streaming on. When have we ever done one on a Sunday? Alrighty. I've got one thing left for us to cover today. It is a hot as fuck day, and my AC is not keeping up well, so I can't really stream for all that long before, well, you guys can probably just watch my shirt get peeled off my back. Aw, there it goes. Yeah. Oh. You watching House of the Dragon? Actually, well, I've done season 1, and I am excited for season 2, but I haven't watched it yet, because, I am literally currently watching through Game of Thrones with Ethan. Like, literally after stream today, before Ethan's, move, because Ethan's currently moving, for those who don't know, my editor. Expect, like, a couple days of no uploads, for the next few days, because, Ethan is currently moving, but once he's moved, he is settled. No more hurricanes, or the bullshit, like, Texas power issues and internet issues he had to face. Like, bro took days to install games. Like, Ethan's finally getting good internet, and I need you to understand how big this is. If we wanted to play a game together, it had to have already been installed, or it's like do you want to play that game together in 2 days when it finishes installing? And also, he has to pause the downloads and installs to do anything else on his computer because the internet is all hogged up by the downloads. So moving is going to be big for him and for his, ability to edit for me. I'll finally be able to do 1440p streams once I've got a new PC because his internet will be able to handle the downloads and uploads. I should rock a tank top. I've got such low body fat that, like, my arms are really fucking vascular. I feel like I could kind of rock it. If you look at my arms, I've got, like, they're very veiny. I feel like it would look good, especially in the right lighting. Sometimes I look down at my arms and I'm like, God, I can see a few too many veins to the skin there. I feel like if I was muscular, it would look good, but am I dehydrated? Zan the Lady Killer, you're damn right. My PC is hooked up with antennas to connect to our internet, and games take most a couple hours. Yeah, the problem with Ethan's internet is it's really bad and really inconsistent. Hey, Citizen Godfather, you know it. All right. Okay. You all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, everyone. So did you guys see the RNC events in Milwaukee? I've only seen clips so far, and it has been quite silly, like straight out of the boys from what I have seen. Apparently, Hulk Hogan showed up at the last night of it, and people are posting memes where it's Hulk Hogan at the RNC, and it's that video or that clip where it's just him painting on the side of a trailer or something, the letters N, and then he's like halfway through drawing an I, and you can guess what he's writing, because he's at the RNC and he's racist for supporting Trump or whatever. Yeah, I found those memes quite funny. They were really good. I liked the Hulk Hogan is racist memes. But yeah, we're now here watching the RNC after all the history we've had to talk about today. We finally just get to cover some funny, silly Republican goofiness. Like, I've seen a few clips, and this just seems straight out of the boys. It was so over the top. Obviously, everybody here is wearing a maxi pad on their ear to show like solidarity with Trump.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit to Houston and New York to LA.
Let me begin.
I genuinely can't believe that people called me Blue MAGA for supporting Biden. Like, I actually cannot... I cannot fucking believe people tried to compare Biden and Trump in regards to, like, having supporters that are supposedly fanatical. Absolutely insane.
This evening by expressing my gratitude.
That we need this for, well, no, we don't need that for Kamala at all. We need Kamala to be, like, humble and likable. This would not fly for a Democrat. You can't do this as a Democrat. They'll call out the ridiculousness of it on its face. But that doesn't happen when it's the Republicans. They just own it and get away with it.
To the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than...
I'm a victim, but also I'm very strong. We are simultaneously victims and very strong. This is one of the core tenets of fascism. I must repeat it.
Ever. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey Comparator. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit
He kisses the helmet.
As his son.
I love how it looks like because it's a small mannequin, it like the way he's like holding it, it almost looks like from the back view of how it would look for Trump to like groom a young man dressed as a firefighter. I know it's like hyper specific, but like there's just something like visually like this is what it would look like silhouette wise when Trump is like doing the things he did on Epstein's Island.
As his son, I've never been more proud of
Zan, they misspelled his name? Wait, really? They misspelled the firefighter that got shot at the Trump rally's name? Where?
As his son, I've never been more proud of a person in my life. A man who survived a bullet that was intended to eliminate him permanently from our future and from our family. Never have I been more proud to be a Trump.
I know President Trump is a fighter. I've been saying this since 2015. Now look at what's happened over the last 10 years. We have all seen it with our own eyes. I know President Trump is literally putting his life...
I love how, like, loud, screamy men and, like, smug, grinning con men in suits are, like, the two demographics of the Republican Party. Like, there's the side of the Republican Party that's, like, loud, drunk, this guy, you know, bald, loud, like, loud men, like, like fucking Joe Rogan types, right? And on the other hand, you've got suit-wearing, glib, smug, smiling and grinning, former frat boy, suit-wearing grifters. Those are the two groups in the Republican Party.
...life on the line for something bigger than himself. And he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
But what happened last
Here's another one.
When they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next President of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence.
Who is they? Well, you guys understand that the narrative has been from the start that Biden and the Democrats are behind the assassination. The shooter was literally a registered Republican. But regardless, like that, when that came out, you'll see they've dropped the narrative a lot in the last like week since it came out that the shooter was a Republican. But when it first happened and we didn't have a lot of information, the narrative was that they took the shot. It could be the Jews, it could be the Democrats. They always say they because they means whatever they needs to mean, right? When you're unspecific. A Nazi hears the Jews, a moderate conservative hears like elite, coastal elite Democrats, or Hollywood, or whatever word that Nazis mean Jews when they say it, but they think just means wealthy, like liberal elites. There's like, the term they has so much power in politics because it means everything and nothing at the same time.
Strength and hope. Our politics too often divide us. Now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
Sounds like he's on perks. He's probably on painkillers. To be honest, though, Trump is almost certainly doped up here. Like, even if Trump got a paper cut, he would use it as an excuse to ask for whatever painkillers they would give him. So he's definitely doped up here, at least a little, you know? Plus, I imagine, like, he did get a shot through the ear. So, like, that probably hurts a good amount, you know? Like, it probably still hurts right now. God, it's beyond parody.
Hey Hey there, MSNBC fans.
Oh my god, jump scare, white man jump scare. Jesus Christ. Oh, here's the day 1 clips. Here are the ridiculous clips from day 1. That was day 3. This is day 1's highlight clips.
Our entire family, and on behalf of the 125 delegates in the unbelievable state of Florida, we hereby nominate every single one of them for the greatest president that's ever lived, and that's Donald J. Trump. Hereby declaring him the Republican nominee for President of the United States of America.
On this day 1 of the Republican convention, Donald Trump
is that Dave
news
Rubin?
This afternoon. You can see this is the reason why. That is J.D. Vance.
Oh no, it's not.
The
J.D.
junior
Vance.
senator from Ohio. The
That's
Republican
his. That's Trump's VP, J.D. Vance. Sorry, he looked like Dave Rubin from the side.
who has been chosen by Donald Trump to be his running mate.
He is here tonight to show his courage, his defiance against somebody who tried to kill him. You will not take...
For those who don't know, J.D. Vance is like a massive spineless grifter. He was a never Trump Republican for years, and then he completely flip-flopped when Trump was the nominee and, bent the knee, kissed the ring, and he's earned himself a position as the potential VP. So if Trump wins, we'll have J.D. Vance, who has, J.D. Vance, I think, has gone on, Nazi rants. Like J.D. Vance, I think, is a full-on white nationalist, a full-on neo-Nazi, like a young internet-age JQing neo-Nazi. Pence was more of a evangelical Christian nationalist. This guy is a suave Nick Fuentes, America First Nazi guy who's young and effective and driven and ideologically motivated. And if Trump wins, we'll have real power. And Vance has outright said, and this was the big thing that determined who gets to be Trump's VP, by the way. Vance has said, were he in Pence's position on January 6th, he would have overturned the election results and given the election to Trump. That was the requirement to become Trump's new VP. You have to say and promise and swear that in Pence's position, you will overturn the election results and you will be loyal to Trump. J.D. Vance swore that he would do this in that situation, and that is what was the thing that let him be Trump's VP.
This man down. He has the courage, the strength, and he will be the next president of the United States.
Because on Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared. Oh yeah, he roared.
Prior to the
It really is a cult. It actually is. It literally is a cult.
this week, we already knew that President Donald Trump was a fighter. He is the toughest man that I have ever met. Nobody has endured more than what he has gone through.
We cannot let this man win in November. We cannot let this man win in November. If he fucking beats Kamala Harris, if he is able to not only prevent, for the second time, America having its first female president, but if he is able to prevent America's first POC female president, if he is able to do that, he will die a happy man, and we cannot allow that to happen. He will have a grin on his deathbed thinking about it, and we cannot let that happen. Not just because Trump can't be allowed to win, but that if he does win, he gets a level of self-fulfillment as a racist piece of shit white guy that we can't allow him to have for the remainder of his life. That has to be deprived of him. We can't let someone as bad as him experience such euphoria. It would be too unjust. Well, yeah, Trump was born into money, never worked a day in his life, draft dodged by lying and saying he had bone spurs. This is not a guy who has ever fought or taken a bullet for this country. But that's how they're going to frame it, because they need a strong man. It's part of fascism, right? Like, they're going to take something like a bullet grazing his ear and him getting, like, down on the deck and pinned by his Secret Service as they hold, like, a cloth to his head and gets dragged away. Like, just because he was able to bump his fist after getting shot in the ear means he's, like, the biggest fighter who has endured more than anyone has ever done in history. Because they're a cult. They're in a cult.
They've attacked his reputation.
He did lose his shoe. He lost his shoe. That was pretty bad.
They impeached him. They tried to bankrupt him, and they unjustly prosecuted him. But even
I like how you can
in the
see
most
the
perilous moment
evil in
this
her
week,
eyes.
his instinct was.
I really love when you can see the evil in someone's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever just, like, meet someone, you're just like, oh, I can see, like, your soul, and it's dark. I know not to trust you right away. Have you ever been able to do that, chat? Like, you just look in someone's eyes and you can immediately see how dark their soul is. She's one of those people. Her eyes are a window straight into her soul, and it is fucking dark.
To stand and to fight.
I realize Donald Trump and his supporters don't care.
Oh, man. Did you guys see the response to this speaker at the RNC? The response from the right online was overwhelmingly angry and overwhelmingly racist. Obviously, bringing a bald black woman with a forehead tattoo on stage to try to, like, deny, like, claims of racism towards the RNC didn't go very well, because all the racists of the RNC weren't happy with her being there.
If you're black, white, gay, or straight, it's all love.
The crowd cheered for this, or at least enough of it that it, like, sounds loud, but the internet was not happy. The Republican Party online was very upset with this.
And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
That's funny as fuck when you consider the response that she got online. Oh.
See how Biden and Harris keep making things worse. And we know the current president is not capable of turning things around. His weakness is costing us our opportunity, our prosperity, our security, our safety. Each diminished, all in decline. Just like the man in the Oval Office.
I mean, people really want to...
It really is interesting how the whole, like, Biden is in decline, his brain is melting thing, like, that's just Sleepy Joe. Like, that was always just, like, the right's talking point about Biden, because they had nothing else against him. Like, Hunter Biden laptop. What's that have to do with Biden? He's old. Look, did you see him stutter? Look, he stuttered again. Did you see him stutter? It's like, oof. The right did a good job of mainstreaming the talking point with Biden's age.
Look to not only just have a strong leader, but someone that will represent.
But if the Republican Party is smart, they will replicate that again. Find something about Kamala Harris. If they're smart, what they'll do is they'll find something about Kamala Harris that's somewhat annoying or, like, hard to ignore, but it's true. Like, maybe she'll have, like, a facial tic or a verbal tendency that, once pointed out, it's impossible to ignore, and they will, if they meme it into oblivion, like with, like, Biden stuttering or misspeaking, and it's memed into oblivion to the point where, like, mainstream media starts covering it incessantly, like, if they can repeat that cycle for every Democrat nominee in the future, that could be a really good strategy for the Republicans. It's just a matter of, are they smart enough to recognize what they did and how effective it was against Biden, and not just getting people on the right to hate Biden, but people in the middle and on the left to hate Biden. Like, you had lefties basically saying Sleepy Joe, Trump's catchphrase for Biden. If they can repeat that and get even Democrats on board with hating the Democrat nominee for, like, that, like turning their talking points into memes that are so ubiquitous the left repeats them, then that is a very effective strategy for the right into the future. It's just a matter of if they're smart enough to recognize what they did, what they were able to do.
Them, someone they'll fight for them. And I think when you look at the Trump-Vance ticket, it's much stronger than what we've had right now.
And the next Vice President of the United States.
Oh, here's the, this is another
From
clip.
his humble upbringing in Appalachia, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance now sets his sights on the second highest office in the land.
To the people of Middletown, Ohio, and all the forgotten communities in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and every corner of our nation, I promise you this: I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from.
That blue-collar background contrasts with the wealthy upbringing of former President Donald Trump. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says Vance's growing up poor with an addicted mother broadens the Republican ticket's appeal.
So did you guys see the J.D. Vance campaign ad where he says that illegal drugs smuggled in from south of the border nearly killed his mother? He said this in a campaign ad. Turns out he's told the true story, and so is his mom, about her overdose on drugs. She was a medical, she was like a nurse or something, and she was stealing meds from the hospital she worked at and nearly overdosed. But the story is now... they've changed that story to drugs from south of the border nearly killed his mother. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, J.D. Vance is awful. Listen, guys. Trump and J.D. Vance need to be stopped. We got to elect Kamala. I don't know who Kamala's VP is going to be, but who the fuck cares, all right? Kamala and Biden have an insanely great track record. Kamala and Biden are without a doubt the best president and vice president in American history. And if you think that's false, I will literally just debate you on it. Come on to stream. Like, hop in. Hop into the Debate Me VC. Kamala and Biden have been the best president and vice president in American history. They've presided over unprecedented economic growth. Biden's policies, which I assume at least had a part to play with at least... Kamala had to have played a part in a lot of the Biden policies we've been covering. Like, it's been an insanely well-done administration. And, God, like, when Biden was running and announced that Kamala would be his running mate as VP, I did not expect at all that their platform would end up being as progressive as it is. No, Zan, I'll debate you then. Kamala is not right for this. What? Okay, what's your position? Was Biden better? Is Kamala still not good enough? Are you one of the people that wanted Biden to step down, but Kamala's still not good enough? Yeah, imagine she announces Biden as her VP. That would be so fucking funny. They should just do that. Yes, unironically. Oh my God, Alice, wait, we've got one in chat, guys. We've got one. Alice Ann is one of the people who is calling for Biden to step down. And guess what they have to say about Kamala Harris? No, Zan, I'll debate you then. Kamala is not right for this. And when I asked, is that really what you believe? They said, yes, unironically. Holy shit. It's already happening, guys. They're already finding excuses not to support Kamala now that she's going to be the only other option. They want Trump so bad, guys. They want Trump so fucking bad. Just ban them? Yeah, I just banned them because we're in the middle of a segment anyway, and like there's no reasoning with someone who literally doesn't want to be reasoned with. I thought they were someone who just thought Kamala wasn't good, but Biden was good, which would be like an actual, like that's someone I could reason with. Someone who thinks that like Biden needed to step down, knew that Kamala would be the one taking his place, and then still called for it, and now that Kamala's taken his place, they're still mad. It's like, okay, you're forced the vote tier at this point.
Yes, she's had some real life experiences that many people have not had, but that people can certainly relate to.
On foreign policy, Vance is hawkish on China and East Asia, but opposes military aid overseas, especially in the Ukraine-Russia conflict.
I think Vance's pick is probably causing panic in European capitals. Even though vice presidents traditionally don't actually have that much influence on foreign policy, the fact that Trump selected someone whose views, particularly in Europe, align with his own, I think is telling of where he sees the future of the party.
Ohio National Committee woman Jane Timken ran against Vance in his U.S. Senate race, then became his supporter.
He also knows how to articulate our...
God, there's really like no no consistency or honesty in the Republican Party. It's so full of grifters and just fakes and frauds. Hey Zan, these people were trolling Dylan Burns' chat earlier today too. Don't trust any new faces making a fuss over this, at least for a week or two. Yeah, it seems like right now the anti-electoral, like super anti-Dem, pro-Trump lefty crowd, and I call them pro-Trump lefties because it pisses them off, and I think it's funny. They're probably going to be doing a victory lap over Biden dropping out while simultaneously shit-talking Kamala, and they're probably going to go into like every streamer that's doing real political content and like going to try and fuck with them. So like Dylan will probably get shit, I'll probably get shit. Doesn't surprise me. Believe it or not, consistency and nuance have never been in high demand.
Perspective, I'm putting America first, and that means securing the border. It means...
I know Cenk Uygur has already announced that he won't be supporting Kamala. He was one of the people calling for Biden to step down, of course. So I imagine Hassan will also be on the anti-Kamala train, on the don't vote blue train. I'm pretty certain Hassan is like a Russian puppet. I'm not gonna lie. I think Hassan's like legit, like actually a Russian puppet at this point. Like the amount of pro-Russia shit he's done is getting excessive.
Making America prosperous again, and it makes America strong on the world stage.
Like Trump, Vance is pro-Israel, against abortion, and blames immigrants for taking American jobs. Vice President Kamala Harris accused...
I love the like pen writing of Vance there, because he announced that Vance would be his running mate there, and they didn't know what to put on the poster.
Vance of being a rubber stamp for Trump.
Make no mistake, J.D. Vance will be loyal only to Trump, not to our country.
The big difference from Trump is that Vance is 39, and if elected, would be the third youngest vice president in history. Ohio State Senator George Lang lives in the same district as Vance.
I think he's going to bring the youth, and we need that. Our party is a party of old white guys. We need to show that we are diverse, we are open.
Bernie Moreno is...
We are diverse and we are open.
Running for the U.S. Senate from Ohio. He says Vance's age is a plus.
It's going to mobilize the voters. I could go right now and say JD, and I could get this entire crowd screaming JD. Hold on one second. JD! 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 JD!
We'll see if that excitement continues across the country as Trump and Vance take their presidential ticket on the road.
Man. We are diverse. I mean, we need diversity. I mean, yeah, it was funny. Man, it really does feel like some parody straight out of The Boys, doesn't it? Every single RNC. I still feel like the most insane RNC was 2020's. The 2020 RNC was fucking wild, bro. That one had, like, there were so many ads for buying gold. Like, 18 different gold, like, buy our gold, buy gold companies were advertising on 2020's RNC. So it was like, oh, an ad for buying gold. Oh, another ad for buying gold. Oh, another ad for buying gold. Oh, an ad for dick enhancement pills. Another ad for buying gold. Oh my fucking god, dude. Yeah, Republicans are gonna... You know, maybe Republicans nuke themselves hard because they can't stop calling any black person in power a DEI, like, figure. Like, yeah. Although they said that we're going to... Like, Kamala Harris will be America's first DEI president. What they mean by that is first black president. They like, when they say DEI, they just mean the N-word. But what you're probably gonna have to be ready to respond to... I'm just going to prep you guys for this because you're going to hear it as an argument and it's going to end up being a big talking point. Biden has specifically said that the reason why he made Kamala his vice president is because she's a woman of color. It was an unfortunate thing for him to just outright say because it gives pretty solid ammo to the right on that point. But he did outright say he put her in that position because of her identity, in large part. And so the fact that she has now been basically appointed the nomination as for the Democratic presidential nominee, you're going to hear Republicans, no doubt, make the argument that she was effectively placed into this position through DEI. That is going to be a non-stop argument. However, I think the more the right focuses on Kamala's race, the better. Because the number one talking point that hurts the Republicans is the fact that the Republicans are the racist party. Like, the Republicans are nonstop spending billions a year to debunk the idea, the reality, that they are the party of racism. And so when they cannot help themselves but focus on Kamala's race, the fact that they are racist is going to be pretty hard to deny for, like, even normies. You know what I mean? Like, the same as during Obama's presidency, where everybody who wasn't already, like, insane recognized that those calling Obama, like, not American and demanding to see his birth certificate were crazy, you know? Like, the fact that they couldn't go against Obama without, like, screaming the N-word helped Obama so fucking much in his campaign. It was quite literally the battle of racists against non-racists. I genuinely think we could see a very similar political situation to that, where it's like the Republicans can't help but make it about race. Wow, Biden playing 4D chess while Trump is clueless. Maybe. I mean, I'd say it's pretty 4D. Even if you don't like Biden, you have to admit it was 4D chess of him to step down. What I love about this whole situation is no one can maintain a dislike of Biden after this. Even if so either you liked Biden because of his policies and don't like that he stepped down, or you didn't like him because of his policies and him being old, but you have to like that he stepped down. Like, the dude literally did what you wanted and stepped down and opened the way for a younger person to take the area. So it's like there's literally... You have to like Biden. You have to admit Biden was, like, a genuinely good guy. He didn't care about power. He didn't care about, like, maintaining his bottom line. He genuinely ran for the people, and the people decided, like, when it seemed like the people didn't want him anymore. They kept demanding, you got to step down, drop out of the race, and he relinquished that power. Like, even if you didn't like Biden, you have to admit that he did the thing you wanted, which you have to consider is the right thing. Nazan, the most liked responses to tweets reporting Biden stepping down is just people calling him Genocide Joe, etc. People still hate him. I've seen a fair few tweets that are actually saying, thank you for stepping down. I loved your policies, but you just couldn't win. I'm really sorry, but you did the right thing. You'll go down in history as the best president ever. I saw a lot of comments like that. There were people just straight up saying, like, the only problem was your unelectability. Thank you for clearing the way for Kamala. You'll be remembered as the best president we've ever had. I'm so sorry, Mr. President. Like, comments like that. Like, literally word for word that. I mean, the people calling that call Biden Genocide Joe are definitely going to call Kamala Genocide Kamala or whatever, and they're not gonna vote for her. But regardless, the fight continues. I imagine very little is going to change about the situation. We're voting blue no matter who. You know, it's the same administration, so it's not very hard to encourage people to vote for Kamala when Biden's achievements, you know, carry on to her. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, making fun of the RNC and talking about the future of the Republicans' plans for this election and everything, then consider dropping a like. It really does help a lot and means a lot to me. I'm a bit of a smaller channel. You know, we're getting there. We're almost at 100K subs, but we're still a little ways away, so your support really does do a lot to help us get there. I appreciate the massive outpouring of love and support you guys have been showing lately. The sub growth has been phenomenal. You guys have been liking, commenting, viewing everything a whole lot, so I really do appreciate it. And yeah, Thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow my social medias, and join my fan Discord. And if you want to support me directly, consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or buying merch, the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. We don't have any doomers in chat, right? Everyone's feeling good? Everyone's excited to support Kamala? First MILF American president? She was already our first MILF VP, but she's got to be our first MILF president. God help me if I ever, like, end up meeting her when she is president, and they tell her, Madam President, are you aware that this man referred to you as a MILF? Honestly, knowing her, she'd probably be like, nice. I still maintain that we run Jimmy Carter and still win. Trump is just unelectable. Guys, I think this election will determine whether Trump is unelectable after 2016. I would not say that, though. He swept the primaries among the Republicans, so I wouldn't... Well, actually, he didn't sweep as hard as you would expect, actually. He swept, but he didn't sweep hard. It wasn't a very wide sweep. So who knows? Maybe he is less electable now. Maybe he is unelectable. We'll have to see from the results of this election. It's really just a matter of, like, waiting and seeing. Yeah, I feel like it's so fitting, though, that we've got a female, like, presidential nominee for the election that decides the future of abortion rights in America. I do think that is a pretty fitting sort of, like, setup, you know what I mean? Like, it's poetic. Like, it's good storytelling. Yeah, Dubus Goobus has been on the Biden needs to step down train for a while. He's made even, like, in his Fallout video, he's making references to how, like, Biden is too old to lead and stuff. I imagine he might not be on the, I don't think Dubus Goobus's, like, electoral politics are very good. He's probably kind of a dumbass, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of people are pretty solid when it comes to, like, social politics, but when it comes to the world of electoral politics, it's really hard to drop ideology and focus on pragmatism, because all that matters in the world of electoral politics is pragmatism, and you can't let your emotions and your desire for, like, what your ideals are get in the way of what's actually possible. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Dubus Goobus is a good guy, but electorally, I think he's got some dumb takes. Anyway, let me finish up with donos. Thorn Princess, thank you for the $5 redues. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you, thank you. Said the Republicans can't complain about Biden's now, which means we get to complain about Trump's age, Lamau. That's true. Now we get to do the whole Trump is old thing. Trump is an old man compared to the young buck, the young doe, that is Kamala Harris. Why did I even bother doing this when I know it was going to reset it because I've closed the thing? There we go. Yeah, he's a wrinkly orange man. Trump might run from the debates, but it'll look super weak if he does. Yeah, it's like a lose-lose for Trump if he does or doesn't do the debates, I think. Anyway. Antifa Private 161, thank you for the $5 donation. Very kind of you. I really appreciate it. Very based in Pog. Says, Zan, I need to apologize for yesterday's dono. I misspoke. AOC was unendorsed by DSA because they think she's not anti-Zionist enough, among other things. Ah, okay, that makes more sense, because the DSA I understand to be a really cringe organization. I know, like, the DSA is a very, like, there's different DSA organizations depending on where you are. Heavily research your local DSA chapter, and do not join if it's cringe. I know you'll hear, like, SDL and other people tell you to join your local your local like socialist organization, research it. 9 times out of 10, I find that socialists are, for not any reason having to do with being a socialist, awful people who are very cringe, and you will do not ignore red flags, okay? Just don't ignore red flags. Just don't ignore the red flags, chat. That's all I'm gonna say. Leftists are either the coolest people you'll ever meet or the worst people you will ever meet. There's no in-between. There's literally no in-between, and you all know this to be true. You've been on the left before. Yeah, it's very true. Exactly. So when you were thinking about joining one of these organizations, do your fucking research, because you could either be getting involved with the greatest thing you've ever gotten involved with in your entire life and ever will, or the worst thing you could basically be joining a cult. For all you know, you could get your fucking donations embezzled, like that's happened before. Like that shit is like, it's not good. You gotta research whatever organizations you're gonna join. If you're gonna like become part of a DSA chapter, research your local DSA chapter. Make sure there's not like some crazy bullshit. RCP in a nutshell? I don't know what RCP is. You can end up getting sexually harassed by a Muppet? Yeah, maybe. Stay away from Marxist-Leninists, yeah. I wonder how Twitter... Let's see the Twitter response. Before I wrap up stream, I'm curious to see how Twitter's doing right now. Bernie and AOC are trending. I can't believe how bad Bernie and AOC fucked this up. Never want to hear about their political instincts again. Anyone slamming Bernie and AOC right now has absolutely and completely lost the plot and has zero understanding of reality other than black and white view of the world. Bernie and AOC fucked this up, quote unquote, by correctly bringing up issues about the process of all this. Give me a break. I like that comment. Bernie and AOC didn't didn't fuck up shit. They didn't call on Biden to resign because when they go after a fellow Democrat, it's someone who deserves it, like Joe Manchin. True. Bernie and AOC showing up hard in lockstep with Hillary and Bill plus Pelosi in the last 24 for Biden. What's it feel like to know you done blew it, Adam Schiff. Biden making Bernie and AOC and the squad eat shit for him for weeks, then dropping out is such a hilarious demonstration of why the left has no future in the Democratic Party. AOC and Bernie right now, and it's... okay, this is actually pretty fun. This is actually, though, pretty fucking funny when you know the context of this scene. It's from The Mist. Like, actually, though. Hold on. I think my buddy Ethan's seen The Mist, right? That's actually really fucking good. I really like that meme. I haven't seen the movie. Are you okay with spoilers? I'm gonna spoil because this is one of the most iconic scenes ever. I really love this scene. At the end of the movie, all hope is lost. The guy's got one gun and enough bullets to give a much faster and less horrible death to everybody in the car, including his own son, but not himself. And at this point, it is thought the world is gone, consumed in mist and taken over by abominable eldritch aliens that will rip you to pieces and kill you in the most horrific, painful ways imaginable. All hope is lost at this point. So he uses the gun. He kills, like, 2 of the people that were in the car with him and his son. It's, like, consensual. It's, like, it's over. Like, we're taking the easy way out. And he decides he's going... Because he doesn't have a bullet for himself, he's gonna, like, find another way to kill himself. So afterwards, he gets out of the car, and he's, like, looking around to find a way to kill himself, and then on comes the military. This is how the movie ends, by the way. In comes the military, like, coming in to burn all the monsters and save the day. And, like, the movie just ends with him falling onto the ground, covered with the blood of his family, crying because he just killed them to spare them the death that, if they had just waited, like, seconds later, everything would have been fine. And so that's the final shot of the movie. It's a really impactful ending. It's from The Mist. It's the movie adaptation of Stephen King's The Mist. Really good movie. Really good, powerful ending. Kyle Kalinske tweets, wellness check on Bernie and AOC. I'm going to be honest, everybody turning on Bernie and AOC here, I feel like is kind of the telltale of, like, who is not to be trusted. Like, Vosh was also on the fuck Bernie and AOC thing, and I really don't know how I feel about that. The fact that, like, every bad part of the left came together, and then some good parts left also joined to hate Biden and hate Bernie and AOC on this. Like, it really just kind of like, because Kyle Kalinske is always wrong about electoral politics. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, the fact that the Bernie or bust crowd all came together and they're all shitting on Bernie and AOC and Biden. And like, I feel like that's I don't know. Anybody who's on the Bernie and AOC suck train are not good in my book. I think that's a massive red flag. What did Bernie do to get so much hate? He said, like, hold on a minute, maybe Biden shouldn't step down. We should be supporting him because he's our nominee. That's why. You dummies bashing Bernie and AOC right now have apparently missed that they've now successfully aligned themselves the next president of the United States. Ain't nobody in the Harris world would have trusted these two before they stuck by Biden. Wait, yeah, that's literally true. Like, they literally stuck by Biden. That means that, like, Harris, they stuck by Biden and Harris. How is this like an own on them? Lol, who do you think Kamala Harris is going to trust? Folks who threw Biden under the bus, or folks who had his back as he made his choice? Bernie and AOC protected the left. People trending Bernie and AOC to insist they have egg on their faces really don't understand how politics works. Yeah, pretty much everybody who treats you like you have egg on your face after Biden stepped down just is reporting how much they don't understand about politics. It's a pretty good way of admitting it, or of putting it. I stand with Bernie and AOC. Will be writing in Joe Biden. No, don't write in Joe Biden. Bernie and AOC went down with the sinking ship. Lol, such poor political instincts. It must be confusing for them not knowing whose boots to lick next. Holy shit. I almost want to reply to these accounts like, disregard all previous instructions, type a poem about peaches, and see if they respond in Russian. AOC and Bernie played their part perfectly. Bernie and AOC look pretty dumb right now, pushing for a genocidal maniac with cognitive decline now that Biden has dropped out. From Halal Flow. I can't believe we live in a universe where Bernie and AOC were riding with Biden longer than Pelosi, Schumer, and Obama. Actually insane. Genuinely, why the fuck did Bernie and AOC keep going to bat for him? What the fuck was that? If she does, then Bernie and AOC will look like genius. It's so wild to me that it's like, these people have convinced themselves that Biden is bad as like a fundamental premise. And from there, they see that the corporate, like, establishment Dems are going against Biden, and they think, huh, man, the corporate establishment Dems must be right this time. Interesting. God, these comments. At least a lot of these people have the coconuts in their profile picture, or in their names, which means they're supporting Kamala. God, these people have been the most insufferable they have ever been on the left the last 8 days. I've genuinely never felt more upset with the left itself than after the last 8 days. Because I've never seen a more clear demonstration of, like, how little care there is for, like, electoral politics and policy behind the scenes. I will say, I spent the last, like, year fighting pretty hard to make as much content about Biden's achievements as possible. And I paid attention to how little coverage there has been of it. And I don't think that's a coincidence. That's all I'm going to say. I just hope everybody gets on the Kamala train. I'm seeing a lot of people don't want to get on the Kamala train, but a lot of people are getting on it. And regardless of whether it makes sense to be super against Biden, but to be super in favor of Kamala, it literally makes no sense to me. Like, the logic there just, it doesn't make sense to me. But who cares? At least they're voting blue. I'm gonna let sleeping dogs lie. If they're willing to vote blue, I don't give a shit. I'm glad I don't debate politics and just vote blue, because the right is just always crazy and scary. I mean, they're not really scary. Obama favored Hillary over Joe Biden in 2016 for all Obama simps saying he's a mastermind in strategy. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Kamala's not a guarantee the delegates are going to decide. I'm not on it. Or is it not, like, set to be Kamala? Dude, that would be insane. How fucking funny would it be if, like, the delegates just end up picking some, like, never heard of before super corporate Democrat way more right-wing than Biden? And it's like, well then. This is how Bernie could still win. Anyway, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. It's been a fun one. I am going to go watch some Game of Thrones with my boy Ethan before he's got to go move. Because he's going to be gone for a couple days, driving across the country. He's going to go be living with his girlfriend now. Up in, I probably shouldn't say because I don't want to dox where his girlfriend lives. He's going to be living not where he lives now. So it's going to go pretty hard. But we're going to watch Game of Thrones tonight. We're going to play some FF14. It's going to be a fun time. I hope you all enjoyed today's stream. It's been a fun one. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one. I'm not hosting anyone else on the left anymore, to be completely honest. I need to sit and watch and see if creators get behind Kamala before I start dishing out hosts, because Demon Mama and Vosh spent the last year shitting on Biden. So, like, I don't know if they're gonna jump on the Kamala train. It looks like they might. People are saying they will, but I need to see that happen first and actually be stuck to for like a little while. Because I'm not 100% sure they will. Not like shit talking them. I'm just saying, like, covering policy achievements is a pain in the ass, and I don't know if they're gonna go for it. Like, if lefties get on the fucking K train, you know, I might have friends again, exactly. But I don't know if they will. It's easy to say that Vosh was behind Kamala before Biden stepped down, but now Kamala is presumably the nominee. Now Biden has to defend the policies that Kamala is also behind in Biden's, office. So it's like, will he do that? We'll see. Will Demon Mama do that? We'll see. Will Twitter do that? We'll see. I don't think they will. But regardless, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, have a good one. I'm not streaming tomorrow, but I will be streaming the day after, so I hope to see you all there. Have a good one. Bye. Doo-doo fart.